in school, so I'm feeling pretty good. All right. Everyone else is good. Just checking in with everybody.
Yep.
Ready to roll, buddy.
Beautiful. Hi. Welcome to our game of Curse with Strahd.
That totally hasn't been going on for 13 minutes.
It's okay.
It
It's okay.
just started.
And we're already interrupting the DM.
It also hasn't been happening for like 6 months, and then we took like a 6-month break after that. So it's gonna be interesting. I am the bees, the DM/GM of this game. It's interesting. We're coming in about halfway through the campaign, so we have actually lost a couple of players. We're bringing in a couple new players. So I think we'll start with a recap. But first, I want to meet our people. And, I think Rogue and Minnie, you can actually hold off on introducing your character. You can just tell us who you are. Pranks always does something like stupid. Like, what's your favorite cereal? That's what I'm going to say. I'll start because I'm the bees, and my favorite cereal is I don't really eat cereal. Why would I come up with that? But my favorite.
What did you
cereal,
get good for Christmas?
My favorite. You know what? Even better. This is one of the things I got for Christmas was my shirt that my mom got me.
Love it. Mad TV.
It's or Mad Magazine, but yeah. So my mom is she's like a member of the Weird Al fan club, which is I got a dorky mom.
That's
She
a
got
good
me this
mom
shirt
right
for
there.
Christmas. Yeah, it's one of the fun things I got for Christmas. That's me. Are y'all seeing everything in order? Same order as I am. I'm looking at the bottom of the
Roll 20.
roll 20. Is it Prank, Jester, Rogue, Minnie? Is that what y'all see too, or no?
That's what I see.
Cool. We'll go in that order.
Alrighty.
Well, hello. My name is the Prankster. And do you want me to introduce my character too, or just who I am?
Yeah, you can give us a little taste, man, for sure.
Sure. Well, I guess first off, my favorite cereal right now is Honey Nut Cheerios, and part of that's because I have a gluten allergy. And funny enough, Honey Nut Cheerios has no gluten or wheat; it's all oats. And honey's always delicious. And the sweet swag I got for Christmas was I got this sick pedal that lets me play drums through my soundboard. They're like a kick drum. Yeah, it's super cool. So I'm gonna start using that at gigs. And my character, I play Paul, not Paul, Pall, and he is a deep gnome who is a cleric of Kelemvor. And Kelemvor is the god of death in D&D. And Paul is a mortician. And a couple of other things that I guess we'll find out as the campaign goes on.
Awesome. Next is Jess.
Alrighty, I guess it's my go. Well, I am a Wicked Jester. I guess my favorite cereal, because you started it off, is actually another honey. It's actually Honey Bunches of Oats.
Not bad. And your character?
Well, I thought you wanted Christmas gifts.
Oh, please, that too.
I mean, the shirt that I'm wearing.
You know
right
what?
now,
I don't want to hear about your character. Just tell me about your gift.
You know, druids. Why be a wizard when you can be a bear? I mean, it's perfect for Zash. I got of course, a set of die and actually D&D coins.
Oh, fun!
Actual money.
Oh, like the little gold piece looks like
I drop my headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bag of coins.
That I've seen that like on Amazon. Like, how fucking nerdy is that?
Leather bag, little eyeball in the center of it, and
You're gonna have fake money. That's great.
yeah.
Awesome.
But I'll be playing Zash. Well, Zash is probably the comic relief here. Obsessed with meat. He will try to beat the shit out of everyone as he turns into a bear. Hates to wear clothing and will outdrink anyone.
That's true. Because he's
That's how
Yuan-Ti and he's immune to poison.
And we classified alcohol as a poison.
Yep. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one more way that he's playing an overpowered character.
Hey, he's not that overpowered.
Awesome. Rogue is next.
Hello, I am Rogue, and my favorite cereal is probably Raisin Bran with honey. With
That's
honey,
a lot of honey. Honey heavy tonight.
yeah. Just add a little honey to it.
Nice.
Legit.
And because it has like not enough sugar, but the honey
No.
just adds just enough, I guess.
It's cool.
It's my new favorite. Gifts this year, I got an airbrush because I'm gonna try airbrush painting now. Try getting into that and stuff. And I've been an actor for a while at Universal Halloween Horror Nights and stuff. And I've been doing it for so long that I kind of want to try like the makeup side of things instead of acting.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
I want to get into that stuff and creative
Cool.
stuff like that.
That
That'd
is
be cool.
fun. I've done that before.
Yeah. Really
Not
cool.
at Horror Nights, but I was a scare actor.
Oh yeah. That's awesome. And I did that for like 10 years. And I'm also the creator of the Demon Gates Dark Fantasy
Demon
Tabletop
Gate.
RPG. So of course I gotta give it a shout out. You can check that out at Drive Through RPG. And my character is kind of a secret tonight.
Yeah,
So-
so far.
We'll wait on that.
Thank you. And Minnie.
It's me. Yeah. Okay, so I'm Minnie. For those who know me also as She Plays It on my live stream. But mostly Minnie because that is very easy to remember, at least I hope. My character is also a little bit of a enigma for right now, but my favorite cereal would probably have to be frosted shredded strawberry mini wheats. Those are pretty good.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
And for Christmas, I got a lot of freaking miniatures. I will say that one of my favorites has got to be someone got me, essentially my new parents got me an astral dragon miniature from Spelljammer.
Oh, that's fun. I'd love to
Huge.
see it, but your camera's off. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'll show it later. I'll show it later.
Oh, we lost Rogue.
Uh
I want to see the astral dragon.
I know. Show me your astral dragon.
Wow.
But yeah, that's me.
That's awesome. That's sweet. I love when people like know like your nerdness and they get you something that's that like niche, right?
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Getting you D&D. Who got you the D&D coins? Chester, you muted?
Yeah, I've been talking to people on my stream, so I muted up in
Oh,
Discord.
that's fun. Awesome.
Oh, one
That's
of
cool.
my friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's sweet, man.
Everybody from my work, they know that I'm an uber nerd.
Yeah.
So dice, coins, this shirt, it all came from people that
That's
I
awesome.
just happen to know.
It's fun.
For sure.
And Blue is telling me to tell you to kill me within the first 5 minutes. I say good luck.
If I were going to be fair, I should do it to prank. Little
For
For all
Spell.
you that don't know, we play on Saturday as well, a Pathfinder game. And within the first 5 minutes of the very first session, Prankster killed B's character.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll never let him forget it.
I feel like I'm being unfairly portrayed here, and I think the big thing is that we need to just learn to forgive and forget. Is really what I'm hearing. It's
But
a
hey,
really good opportunity for us to
The
practice.
little rat
forgiveness.
survived.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Sure. We can forgive you. No, he knows that I actually really enjoy character deaths because I get bored with characters. Not that quickly. I don't get bored with characters. But
So funny enough, like when that happened, my thought was out of everybody I was playing with at that time, I was like, B's he'll be a good sport and he'll understand. I think like it was like initially like tearing off a band-aid, like what the fuck? But I do, I really appreciate your just going with it.
yeah, it's what I do, and I expect you to do the same very soon.
Revenge.
So as I said, this game started I don't even know when we began. About a year ago, almost. We played for from what I can tell, about 6 months. Because our notes were very poor in the beginning. I can't tell the dates, but we've taken about a 6-month break to start playing that Pathfinder game, so Prank could kill me.
Wait, you all take notes?
Yeah. If you look in the journal tab, I've taken extensive notes for you guys.
To be fair, I
And
tried to take
you helped a
notes.
little bit. Yeah.
I tried to take notes, and then you're all like, "These notes aren't good enough," and then you like took over the notes, and then I couldn't even take them, and then I was like, "Well, why take notes anymore?
I
if
added
it's not
to the
being,
notes.
if people aren't appreciating what I'm doing, so why does it even fucking matter?"
So now you do
where I'm
nothing.
coming from.
Now you do
Now I do
nothing.
Now I do nothing. I am the gift.
I appreciate you, Frank.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't. So, anyway, we took a long, hard break, and we came back. Our cast has changed slightly, so that will be done in character. So the people we are missing, if you can zoom in, are Chen, this friendly little. Am I on the right layer? Yeah, this friendly little monk character, and Wino, and Duvad. This what is he? What are his classes?
He is a bard,
ranger
2,
fighter?
ranger 1.
Something like that. Yeah, he's a musical guy and a ranged fighter guy who is very deadly. So we'll be missing them tonight and from now on, but we'll see how it goes. I'll just leave it on this background as I read a bit of. Man, this music is hardcore. What is this like distortion coming from? Y'all hearing
I
that?
don't know.
From our nightmares.
I want to switch it to the woods just to kind of chill for a minute for our recap. Can we just hang out in the woods for a bit?
Yeah, somewhere
Sure.
peaceful.
Yeah, let's sit in a
I
campfire.
like that.
All right. Okay. Oh my gosh, I got so many tabs open. All right. All right. So again, I have a bit of a recap here. Bear with me, please. I might pop up a couple things to view at the beginning, and then I won't have anything else for the whole rest of the time because I was writing more than I was collecting art. All right. Season 1 recap is what I titled this document. All right, sound. Is the sound flickering for everyone else, or is it just me? Does it sound solid?
sounds fine for
Sound
me.
is good.
It's okay. It's
Sounds
just
good
my
to me.
computer. It's fine. Good. All right. All right. Let me just turn that down ever so slightly.
Ooh. No butts for my channel, por favor.
Bots.
All right.
Oh no.
No butts on my channel, please. All right. I'm going to read again. It'll move slightly from well thought out to like pure chaos in my recap, but we've been through a lot. Like I said, like 6 months of game. I want to just get it all out there for everyone to look back on.
There's her stream.
All right. Our journey began with 4 unassuming, unrelated travelers, each making their way to the city of Neverwinter for their own respective reasons. On a wagon ride driven by a real Johnny Depp type. He was more scarf than he was man, is what I mean. Just get the look of it. You know what he looks like just by bracelets and scarves. One of those guys. Overnight on their journey, they stopped and they found themselves suddenly abandoned by the wagon and surrounded by a dense fog. They found the fog so dense and harsh that it was blindingly thick, and walking into it would literally choke them as they gasped for the air that couldn't penetrate the mists. On foot, they followed the only path ahead as they discovered the terrain had changed dramatically from the familiar grassland where they began their rest along the Sword Coast. They were suddenly surrounded by unforgiving rocky cliffs and exotic evergreens stabbing out from the cold earth. Their noses led them to find a dead body. Let me pop something up real quick for you guys. Just pop that up. for the stream. Give it to the stream. Did you get a pop-up?
I did.
Great. Their noses led them to find a dead body. The half-eaten remains of a courier with a letter. And the letter reads as so. Hail thee of might and valor. I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Koliana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. For over 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. And now my dear Irina languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead and encircle this land with the symbols of good. Let holy men call upon their power, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves, and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Signed, Kolian Indirovich, Burgomaster. So this father was so distressed by his failure to protect his daughter from the vampire lord who rules this world, this land, who continually pursues his daughter. He was so distraught that he sent out a messenger to tell outsiders to just stay out and mark this land with holy symbols to contain the evil inside and just leave them all to die. Our party, however, were continually surrounded by these mists who continually pushed them forward through the gates and toward the village of Barovia. As they proceed, just more flavor text here. Tall shapes loom out of the dense fog that surrounds everything. The muddy ground underfoot gives way to slick, wet cobblestones. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows to each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence, except for a mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance. Let me pop up another map, another image here. Following these sobs, the party finds the woman whom the locals refer to as Mad Mary. Genuinely wanting to help, the party agrees to help her retrieve her lost little girl, Gertruda. Mad Mary gives them a creepy old doll with a tattered sackcloth dress and a strange leer and only a few sad strings of yarn for hair. She says the doll belongs to her daughter and she'll want it back wherever she is. The party deduces that her daughter is not really a little girl, but she's about 30 years of age. This woman is called Mad Mary for a reason. But her daughter is missing, and they did promise her that they would find her. As the mists finally cleared back, almost approvingly, they get to see a wide perspective of the land around them. The village is immediately surrounded by woods to the north and sheer mountains beyond. They have their first glimpse of Castle Ravenloft, capping the highest mountaintop, looming thousands of feet, and keeping watch over the village. This is where I thought I'd end the recap and just go to the castle next, but there's so much that we've missed. So forgive me if it gets really sloppy. I'm going to be like the guy from the Ant-Man movies who gives the recap. It's all crazy.
You're good, buddy.
So first, check this out. The party meets Irina's brother, Ismark. These are the children of the burgomaster of this village. Ismark asks the party to escort her to safety while he stays behind to replace his father as the village burgomaster. Their dad died shortly after writing that letter from what appears to be a broken heart that he couldn't keep his daughter safe. The party helps them to bury their dad. While they're out there, Strahd even stops by to pay his respects, and he promises that he'll be seeing her. The priest in town who presided at the funeral is terrified of Strahd. The priest keeps his own son chained in the basement of the church because he's a vampire spawn. The boy constantly screams out in pain and hunger, but the father can never feed a vampire, so he prays day and night for a cure. Also, while they were in town, there were some lively, colorfully dressed women at the pub who were weirdly friendly towards Strahd. They tell the party that they should go talk to Madame Ava for a card reading. These women are not technically locals. They're a group of people called Vistani, kind of like the Johnny Depp character from The Wagon. So the party decides after the funeral to leave town, leave the village of Barovia. This is confusing. It's like New York, New York. This is Village Barovia, and then the whole land is also called Barovia. So we'll be doing... That's confusing. They leave the town of Barovia to head toward the village of Valaki, which is the next village along the main road here, which they hear is safer than the village Barovia. Ismark actually told them to continue on from there all the way to the village Kresk if possible, because Kresk hosts the most holy, sacred space in all of the land, as far as he knows, which is certain to keep out vampires. On the road, they stop by the Vistani camp and meet with Madame Ava. She's creepy and older than dirt. I'm gonna pop up the card reading. You can put that up on the screen. Just older than dirt. Where was I? She seems to know them and be expecting them. She gives them a cryptic card reading, supposedly setting them on the path to leave this place and to get back home. But first they have to kill Strahd. In order to do that, they will need 5 things. And she draws 5 cards in her spooky little space. I kind of like the character art. If you wanted to show the art, I can read the text. Yeah, they'll need 5 things. The first card, she says, this card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will better help you to better understand our enemy. And she draws the card titled The Monk. And she says, the treasure you seek is hidden behind the sun in the house of a saint. And she looks around, she says, I think you're already on your way there. The second card she draws, she says, before she flips it, she says, this card tells of a powerful force for good and protection. A holy symbol of great hope. She flips it. The Myrmidon. Myrmidon? She says, look for a den of wolves in the hills overlooking a mountain lake. The treasure belongs to Mother Night. The party has since learned that Mother Night is the goddess of darkness, and she's known to offer various gifts to her followers. The third card, she says, this is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance. A sword of sunlight. That sounds like it could come in handy fighting a vampire. She flips the card. It's the hooded one. She says, I see a faceless god. He awaits you at the end of a long and winding road deep in the mountains. The fourth card, she says, this card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. She flips the card. It's the Broken One. It's kind of this tragic-looking character at the bottom. Your greatest ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his spells are strong. The last card, she says, this card will lead you to your enemy, a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. She flips the card. It's the Don John. And she informs you that he lurks in a hall of bones in the dark pits of his castle. It's all very cryptic. The characters have since learned that each card represents something they'll need to fight Strahd. One is an ally who can help them fight Strahd, and the last card will point them to where the final battle will begin. But it's all very cryptic and creepy. Deeper on their journey along the road, they fight some night hags and nearly die. The hags were disguised as sweet old ladies selling pies that the villagers love so much they're willing to pay huge prices for them. People even trade away their children for a pie. As awful as that sounds, it is the perfect trade because the hags make their pies out of children. Eating these pies places the consumer in an unconscious stupor, granting them pleasant dreams of faraway lands. The only escape that the local population ever gets to experience away from the living nightmare that is Barovia. So the party fighting these evil ladies with a strategically placed silence spell and a strategically placed big brown bear ass. The party and Irina narrowly escaped their confrontation with the powerful hags. The druid with the big bear ass.
Oh my god, that was so scary. I remember that.
So they narrowly escaped, rescuing 2 children from the operation. One at a time, each of the 3 hags magically disappear before they're killed. So they aren't killed. The bear/druid takes the lead in doing massive damage to their little evil bakery. He wants to completely destroy the entire windmill, but having run out of wild shapes, spells, and hit points, the party chooses to flee in order to save themselves and the children before the hags return. They escort the children with Irina to the village of Valaki. The village of Valaki, what a weird town. Under the rule of their burgomaster, the self-titled Baron, Vargas Vlakovic, he has their city guards enforce all kinds of strange rules. For example, saying the name Strahd is forbidden. They all call him the devil. Also, being unhappy is a crime. There are also weekly town festivals in which attendance is mandatory. You have to go to the festival every week. There's a different one. And everyone in town always puts on an eerily fake smile when they hear the Baron's catchphrase, "All will be well." They all smile. "All will be well."
All will be well.
Yeah. When this Baron hears about Irina's arrival in his town, he invites the party to his mansion for dinner. He seems to mean well, despite all the weird rules. He seems to believe that happiness will keep the devil at bay. And for what it's worth, Valaki does seem much safer and better off than Barovia, with no vampire attacks in decades. The Baron has a teenage son named Victor, who isn't present for their dinner, but the Baron seems especially keen to introduce his son to Irina. The party finds out that Victor always stays in the attic, listening to My Alchemical Romance.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he made me play When I Was a Young Man. That's great.
Oh my god.
He
we
turns
can't
out
do that on stream though.
I know, right? YouTube will get marked in stream. He turns out to be a budding savant wizard with no formal training and also a bit of a sociopath. Unbeknownst to his father, he keeps animated cat skeletons as pets. And he's also killed off 2 of their house staff, compelling them to act as guinea pigs for a teleportation circle that he simply cannot get to work. There was also that whole thing with Stella Voctor. You see, Stella is the teenage daughter from another noble family in Valaki. Her mom, Lady Voctor, comes from another family with deep roots in town. She hates the Baron, and she aims to replace him as burgomistress. She sends her daughter over to the burgomaster's house under the guise of a courtship that could possibly unite their houses. The two teens would meet regularly over the course of several weeks. Stella is uninterested in Victor, but she's also kind. She politely inquires about his magical hobbies, but he has no time or patience for her. He starts using magic to command her to be still and quiet while he works. Then he starts commanding her to behave like one of his cats. He's entertained by how much she debases herself, even soiling herself while hovering over the litter box. But he becomes concerned when he begins to have a hard time breaking her out of the spell. One night, she returned home from the burgomaster's mansion, still thinking she was a cat, and her mom never allowed her to return. Unaware of the boy's magical abilities, Lady Voctor simply assumes that Victor had bullied her into a sort of madness. So she locked up Stella in her room to avoid the public shame of having a mad daughter. Later on, the party would meet with Lady Voctor, and she tells them of her plans to take over the town, asking them if they could help by killing the captain of the city guard. The captain of the city guard. He's the real muscle behind the Baron. Ezek is his name. Ezek is a scary and powerful man with one arm that's massive and red, and it looks like it belongs to a demon. And he can use it to cast deadly fire spells.
The Hellboy.
The Hellboy, sort of. He looks like a human except for one arm. The party offers to help restore her daughter as soon as they are able. And they even consider helping her secret effort to replace the Baron. Then they learn that she's actually a supporter of Strahd. That complicates things. The next morning, the party takes Victor out on a quest to retrieve wine for the town. They had promised the Baron that they would mentor this kid. And long story short, their mission was successful. They find out that the local family of winemakers are actually all were-ravens. Let that sink in. Were-ravens. Who have some kind of secret society who secretly work to resist Strahd's rule in interesting ways. So
and
with
they
the party,
turn Zash into a were-raven.
and they refuse to turn Zash into a were-raven because he's like, give me them sweet lycanthropic powers, and they're like, nope, this is a curse and you can't have it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You're very insistent.
They're really noble, despite the fact that the patriarch of the family was a real a-hole.
Gosh, that was so funny.
They're all were-ravens.
They'll deliver mail.
Well, that's the funny thing is I didn't write in the recap too is that there are ravens around that seem to there was a raven warning them about the hags before they went into that windmill. The ravens seem to be allies to the party somehow. Nice. Even wild ravens. So with the party's help, these winemakers retrieve the magic seed that they have in their orchard? No. Vineyard, so they can resume making wine. They're still missing 2 other magic seeds that they need to produce the other 2 varieties of wine that they used to make, but we'll see if we deal with that or not. At a climactic point during that mission, the party confronts Victor about all the evil shit that he has done. They happened to read his journal / spellbook while he was asleep. Scared that the party might kill him, Victor swears on his knees that he didn't mean to hurt anyone. He only wants to learn how to teleport away from this horrible place. Unconvinced that this boy can be redeemed, Duvad fires a crossbow bolt point blank into Victor's forehead. The boy crumples to the ground, near death, but still alive. As Duvad reloaded his crossbow, Victor desperately began mumbling some kind of spell, and Duvad's next crossbow bolt went right through Victor as he vanished. It appeared as if he finally mastered that teleport spell. The next night, the party attended this mandatory Festival of the Blazing Sun, where the burgomaster dramatically and pompously carried a lone torch on horseback. to light up this huge ball of kindling that would scare away the devil. The whole town's gathered around to see this stupid show. And just before he reaches the dried up sticks with his torch, the bottom of the sky opens up and a weirdly supernatural rainstorm just breaks out and dumps water on the whole town and extinguishes his flame. Paul the cleric has the luckiest roll of his life, in my opinion. Yeah. Rolling a natural 20 with a huge bonus to his perception. And he notices that one figure in this crowd of the people in Vallaki was not quite as startled as the rest when the water came down. It's Vasily von Holtz. He's a friendly local noble with whom the party had previously mingled. Irina had even seemed slightly charmed or interested in the guy. The party follows him home after the festival. It's a huge house, but they find that it's empty inside. He invites them in, and he reveals his identity as none other than Strahd von Zarevich. He'd been in this.
Oh, did I beat you to it, Chester?
I know. I should be working. If I were really DJing the Sirenscape, he'd been in the town the whole time. They thought they were safe. He applauds their ability to see through his deception, and he asks them to keep it a secret, so as not to upset the locals. And then he invites them to Castle Ravenloft for dinner,
where there will be meat.
He also scolds them for not keeping Irina safe. They had left her in the local church, which they knew to be sanctified against vampires and other undead. He told them that she had been taken, and she was in unknowable danger. He informed the party that she would no longer be needing their protection, as he would take over from here. He would retrieve her and keep her safe.
Douche.
The party fled out of his house like maniacs and ran across town to the church. It's still
one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, I forgive me for not getting all the details of all the things y'all did, but it was still pouring down rain. Zash charges into the church, nearly kills the priest for allowing her to be taken. Yep. The priest tells the party that Ezek, that is the demon hand guy, had abducted her during his routine patrols before the festival. The party remembers that Ezek was strangely absent from the festival. And then they all haul ass across town to the burgomaster's mansion, which is where Ezek also lives. P.S. Did I mention that the party had searched Ezek's room in the burgomaster's mansion? They discovered that he had dozens. This guy had dozens of creepy little dolls that looked exactly like Irina.
Oh yeah, what a weirdo.
And some of them were even wearing like crude versions of the exact same dress that they had seen Irina wearing. And Irina had never even been to this town before. She had never left her own village before. As far as Irina and the party knew, Ezek and Irina had never met before. She did see him across the town square when they first arrived, but she instinctively hid in fear of this monstrous-looking guy. So the party runs from the church to the burgomaster's mansion through the still pouring rain. The water's now up to their shins at this point, and they splash through the streets. When they get there, they find a pack of wolves charging into the house.
Shit, that's right.
When they get there, they find a pack of... Whoa, I already wrote that. The wolves make quick work of ripping apart the household staff and the wife of the burgomaster. Those commoner stat blocks couldn't hang. They were quickly throats ripped out. After killing the wolves, however, the party ran upstairs and fought through magical darkness against a gnome, sorcerer, vampire spawn. I also have neglected to mention that thus far, everyone in Barovia is human. Except for this vampire spawn. The burgomaster and his guard dogs were frozen solid by a cone of cold in the fight, and Ezek aided the party in defeating the vampire spawn. What did I write here? Okay. So I think at that point, Zash especially was concerned about the dead dogs because he had a relationship with these pups. They were his. They were these terrifying guard dogs, and Zash treats them like little puppies because he's got away with animals.
Yeah, I rubbed their bellies.
But in the wake of this battle, this demon-armed, monstrous guy is like an ally. It's clear that he's obsessed with Irina. And he seems to think that she belongs to him, like she's one of his dolls. But he also seems committed to protecting her, so the party makes an uneasy truce with Ezek. He's told to protect her, but also respect her space and boundaries, because during that first rest they all had together, the party, during their watch, observed Ezek spending the entire night staring at her while she slept and just playing with her hair. Never taking a rest for himself.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, that's the appropriate reaction.
That is the appropriate reaction. I can't hear many.
They escort Irina back to the church, and they instruct Ezek to keep guard, to stand guard and keep watch from outside of her room. And he seems to be compliant. Then the party considers. Yeah, so this is the next morning we're talking. The party then considers holding a town meeting. Oh yeah, you also went and raided. I'll get there. The party considers holding a town meeting to inform the people of what has transpired overnight. Like the Baron and his whole family are killed. Meanwhile, Duvad attempts another assassination. This time, Lady Voctor. He sneaks out and spies on her house. Duvad overhears that she was already aware of the attack on the Baron before it even happened, and that she's already planning her move to take over. The rest of the party join Duvad, just unique timing, as he leads the assault against her house. As combat ensues, a bunch of devil-worshipping cultists emerge from the basement of her home. And they defend her. An invisible imp also tries to kill the party. The party kills everyone, except for Lady Voctor, whom they decide to gag and imprison in a secret torture room in the Burgomaster's mansion. What you got, Brain?
Point of order.
Please.
The Burgomaster's mansion, I used to spare the dying on several soldiers.
You did, and you have witnesses. So the staff were all dead. Some of the soldiers were saved.
Lawyer, if you know what I mean.
So there were witnesses of what happened at the Burgomaster's mansion. Beyond Ezek, who's
a douche.
Yeah. So they spare Lady Voctor, and they decide they're going to just hide her up in a torture closet that no one knows about.
That once housed her son.
Or once housed one of her cultists. Zash then runs upstairs at the Voctor house, as it's called, her little mansion. He runs upstairs to grab Stella from her room. I forgot to mention that she only answers to the name Good Kitty, and pretty much only responds to Zash, who has that special druid thing going for him. They decide to keep her in the coffin shop where the party has been staying. And geez, I forgot that too. Long story short, the party discovered that the local coffin shop, A lot has
happened.
A lot. This has been a day. No, it's been 6 months of. Okay, it's really just been like a week of adventuring, but it's a lot. The party discovered that the local coffin shop was housing some vampire spawn, a little nest of vampire spawn, seemingly against the will of the resident owner of the business. But before the man could explain himself, Ezek, the mighty guard, killed the man for the obvious crime of undead trafficking in the town. it was fortunate for the party that Paul, as a cleric of Kelemvor, specialized in the death domain, also just happens to be a professional mortician himself.
Grave domain.
It's grave. Thank you. Grave domain. It's in his backstory and everything. So before the burgomaster died, back when they were meeting with him in a friendly way, he was happy to sign away the coffin maker shop as their new home, and so that job was also immediately fulfilled for the town. Then the party had their big town meeting after the stress of after the shenanigans of killing everyone in Wachter House. Paul told the people about almost everything. All is not well, he started. All is not well. I just slow clap for you for that. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
All is not well, he says. He said that all the fake happiness was worthless, that the Baron had been killed by a vampire, and that Lady Wachter was a secret cult leader. The people began murmuring about who would become their new burgomaster. With Victor, the son of the burgomaster, is missing, and Lady Wachter apparently being evil and unfit for office in certain areas. That was when... Okay, lady, in mind. As they're discussing who would replace the burgomaster, Paul especially notices the form of Vasily slowly making his way through the crowd. And people began suggesting that he take over. Vasily, he's a local noble. Everyone loves Vasily. Paul was unsure how to proceed. He had seen visions. They have dreams and visions that I'm not going into right now. He had seen Strahd laying waste to entire towns in the past. And so here Strahd stood in the middle of all these townsfolk, just daring Paul to out him as Strahd in this disguise. Paul lied to the crowd and said that he had spoken with Vasily, and that Vasily would actually prefer to make Irina Koliana the next burgomistress of Vallaki. At that point, Vasily / Strahd in disguise hesitantly smiled and nodded politely. The crowd seemed as content as they could be in such a terrible situation.
I remember agonizing over that decision. I was scared as hell.
I was so ready to kill everyone in town, dude. I was so ready. I was so ready. But he's not yet. He's like, no, it didn't quite piss me off that much yet. But I feel like y'all are going to piss him off more and more. We'll see how this session goes. Yeah. We're getting to this is the very end of the recap, by the way. So the crowd seemed as content as they could be in such a terrible situation, and they slowly began to disperse. As that was happening, Vasily approached the party with a smile and sternly insisted that they will come to Castle Ravenloft and dine with him tonight. I neglected to mention that they spent the day raiding the Wachter House, so it is late afternoon now. Like, dinner time is approaching, especially considering the travel time to the castle. What were you going to say there, Frank?
I was just being silly. Go ahead.
That's it. And then Vasily just kind of disappears into the crowd, and our adventurers are left with some clear instructions that they need to go to the castle to eat dinner with the vampire lord of the land. That's where we left off 6 months ago.
Good times.
Lots of times. I mean, we had so many different dreams, talking to Strahd in my dreams.
Yeah, I didn't even mention Lady Wachter's dead husband that she kept in her bed. Like,
oh, that was right.
That was one of the dreams that came to you. Like, oh, she's got a dead body in her bed. That's fun.
No.
Yeah,
so much creepy. Death, and everything going on.
I also lost the paragraph about all the creepy things. There's a lot of just great creepy flavor stuff. I just need to get through all this.
What about the orphanage adventure where we had to kill a demon in the attic that was eating children?
Yeah, when you first got to Vallaki with your orphans, with your new orphans, you brought them to the orphanage and shit went down. That was also a whole investigation. I appreciate that that Minnie now has your 2 tokens up, and I just want to point out that we haven't described it yet, but Prankster's character Paul has a bad toupee that falls off from time to time or gets disheveled, and so when he speaks, you get to see a little bit of his forehead. It's just a really fun thing. Thank you for making that, Minnie.
You're welcome.
Yes, I greatly appreciate the focus on all the details.
Okay, and so our
So,
four.
Paul, can I eat them yet?
Who? Sorry,
Okay,
y'all
so
talk. This is y'all.
Who would you like to eat now?
I don't know. I'm just so hungry.
Well, still, we don't eat people. That's a bad thing. Yes, that would be bad. And just, Minnie did a great job on the artwork. And so, but for those who are just listening, I'm going to go ahead and describe what Paul looks like. He is a short little gnome, got green eyes. He's got this bad toupee on his head, like Bees pointed out. He's dressed in what you would imagine a mortician would wear on the day of a funeral, generally. So kind of like a black suit, gray. A really good example is kind of like Gomez Adams, his kind of like normal attire. Yeah, thank you very much, Minnie.
You're just so short. I don't really have to keep you down here.
So he's got this pencil drawn mustache on his face, because one of the things about deep gnomes is that they're actually naturally bald and don't have any hair. so all of his hair is fake. And he's modeled, he's cast by Vincent Price. So imagine a Vincent Price who's kind of shorter and small. A Vincent
And
Price
bald.
gnome and bald. That is who Paul is.
I love it.
Yeah.
And we could describe Zash, please, physically, because he's also interesting to look at.
Yeah, so Zash is a brutish being standing, I think, something like 6 foot some odd, and he is a beast of a creature that is half human, half snake, basically. The upper part of his body covered in scales, with bits of flesh around his abdomen. He rarely ever wears a shirt because he's more attuned with being in the nature and being out in the wild, and clothing just gets in the way. But he has had a cloak fashioned out of direwolf pelts, which he then also had a locket that once housed a demon to form the clasp that holds the cloak closed. He's got a vampire head that's shrunk and shriveled after he chopped it off, tied to his belt. I mean, just these glowing green eyes would peer at you, and he looks like he's just gonna eat you as soon as he talks to you. But he's honestly just a goofball sweetheart.
We're working on the whole eating people thing.
He is a growing boy.
Yes.
So
I
yeah.
need
We-
my.
Where are we currently?
you are
This is
still. Is the Transcape playing? I tried to do the Velaki Town Square
Yes.
background music there. Yeah, I think you're still in the town square. However, you know that you need to get to that castle. So you can go ahead and let me know what y'all want to do before you head to the castle. I think Chen and Duvad are just like, let's go, because they're not here right now, and that's what I say they do.
All right. Well, looks like they are ready to go. Well, I'm not looking forward to this. This is quite frightening, if I'm going to be honest. Spooky.
Why are you not looking forward to this? I mean, there's free food, and free food.
I don't trust the devil. I try to make it a habit of not trusting the devil.
Duvad says, it will be important for us to, forgive me for messing up your accent, Wade, if you're listening, buddy. It will be important for us we must look nicer. We have blood on our bodies. We must take
Yes.
care of this.
Yes, no,
Does
I agree.
mean I have to put my outfit on?
It's only the Lord of the Realm.
Yes, I suppose I should find my finest apparel.
So,
Let us go back to the tavern and get dressed.
how about the coffee maker shop where you live?
Yes, why would we go
That's-
to the tavern?
That's because I wanted a quick bite to eat because I don't want to eat any of Strahd's food because I don't trust him. But yes, let's go get clothed and then go to the tavern for some food, little pre-gaming action, and then
Best thing before dinner is to eat some food before dinner.
yes, absolutely. And then we'll go to visit Strahd.
Awesome.
What do you think of that?
I don't want to put my uniforms on.
You probably should.
They look so good on you, though.
Yes, they do.
Fine.
Yeah.
There it is.
Because
Outside the coffee maker shop.
because Paul is short, I imagine like he
I gotta get rid of your old
'cause
tokens.
yeah, he comes up to Zash's knee and is essentially like, "Who's a good snake boy? Who's a good snake man?" Kind of like,
I'm only doing this for the meat.
"In meat you shall have lots and lots of meat."
Zash and Paul. Let's get your new tokens on the map. Okay, there's the coffee maker shop from the outside. Shout out to James RPG Art. He's done sweet art for so many buildings in this campaign. Animated even with the Patreon money. All right, so you guys run home. You get dressed as well as you can. Are you gonna go pregame at the tavern? They have wine now, but you also know that the clock is ticking.
I'm just gonna grab like a drumstick, just like something to.
A drumstick.
Some guy is like, yes, do you have a drumstick? Just a little.
You have to buy two. You have to buy two.
I could double fist it. That's fine. And so Paul probably walks out with drumsticks that are the size of his head because he's a gnome.
End of shit.
Zash is coming out wearing his now creamish white collared and embossed in gold military uniform, double fisting these drumsticks.
Yes,
Awesome.
I was hoping you were double fisting too.
So he's wearing
That's awesome.
he's wearing a shirt, is what you're saying.
He's wearing his full on mercenary
All right,
garb,
all
which
right.
is the dawn of the what was his? It's been so long. It was a dawn of the.
I don't remember. No snake nipples though. He's covered up.
Yeah, no snake nipples.
All right.
Notice I didn't draw any schnipples on him.
That's I appreciate that.
Order the Burning
Schnipples.
Dawn is the mercenary unit he used to be belong to.
Nice. I guess I could take it to the big map of the land.
Why is there no snake nipples?
It's a weird question. So again, the map looks massive, but it's really not that big. The whole valley, it's hard to get around because of the elevation differences. You have to take these winding paths to get where you're going, but it's not that big a chunk of land. So our party heads east to where they know the castle to be. Do I have Old Svalich Road by foot? Yeah, click on that. It's not dark yet. One of the strange things about this land, again, especially for our new players, is that it's never really sunny, and that's why you see Strahd during the daytime. As far as I know, vampires are supposed to be weak to sunlight, but it's never really sunny here. Because of the fog and the mist, it's just... It is daylight-ish, but it's never really sunlight. But you can tell it's getting late in the day. Dinner approacheth as y'all move, I suspect, fairly expeditiously. You know
I
what?
believe he was sending a carriage for us.
He does have a carriage ready for you. You know what? It's not there. It's not outside the city. You've seen the carriage before, right here at the little intersection that heads directly toward the castle, and that's where you will find Interesting point is that y'all happen to walk past the windmill, the old bone grinder, on your way toward the castle. We're not gonna even touch that. If you want to do anything besides going in, it appears to be just as crappy and run down as it was before, because the windmill was never turning before. There was never there's no sign of smoke coming out of it. It appears just as you've left it.
One day we will go and finish, but today is not the day.
They nearly finished you. Had I not taken that final hit for you, you would not be standing at my knee.
I'm grateful. Who said I wasn't grateful? I'm very grateful.
No. I understand you're grateful, but it was a fun fight. I wish there was more like it.
Fun?
Yes, fun.
I don't even know what to do with you sometimes.
All right, you cross a bridge, and you get to. I'm not gonna bother reading all this flavor text. Oh, such fun music! Thank you, Sirenscape. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you find more gates. What?
I thought you were going to say, you know what, Sirenscape? You get a bottle cap.
Bottle cap for you, Sirenscape. Good job, Sirenscape. Nailed it. Yeah, there's clearly a sign here that says Castle Ravenloft this direction. And as you look in that direction, do I have the art ready? Probably not.
Don't you find it mysterious? He hates ravens, but lives in a castle named Ravenloft.
What did y'all know about that?
That he hates ravens?
No, I mean, the etymology of his castle name.
I don't know. Do we know that it's named Ravenloft?
Yeah,
Now we do for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
because we just saw a sign.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you would have seen it on the way in too. I know that the ladies at the inn at the pub that y'all first went to, they told you that Barovia was named for his father, King Barov. So you know that, but I don't know if you know about the name of Ravenloft. Anyway, let me find if there's any flavor text for this, because I'm sure there is. You find a carriage. You recognize it as the carriage that he took to when y'all first met him at the village of Barovia outside the pub, the tavern. You see that it as you approach, the door just swings right open for you.
I don't like that.
Why not?
Don't like that. Well, you know.
You wield magic the same as me.
This is ominous. Don't you think it's even a little bit ominous?
I just think I don't have to get my uniform dirty.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. Sure. You climb into the carriage. There's no driver. As the four of you climb in, let's say, what's his name? Gosh, I feel I'm so R.I.P. guys.
Mugen.
Mugen. Wrong game.
Oh yeah, wrong game.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, have you done here in inactive PCs? Chen reaches out to grab the door, and the door just slowly closes before he even reaches it. He's just like, okay, fair enough. The door slowly closes, and the carriage begins marching. And you see the terrain, like you're grateful you've taken the wagon, because the terrain has become scary as it scales its way up this mountain. It gets really steep. I can get back to the map and like expose more of the map.
Can I just ride on your shoulders? Is this such a long way?
Yes, I mean, yes.
Excellent. Thank you, thank you. Without even him responding, he just like starts climbing up it.
Thank you.
Doesn't give him a chance.
Zash is kind of dumbfounded. He's like, these are rather plush, and he's bouncing inside the carriage on the seats. I think these are the first cushioned seats we've seen.
Yeah, very nice. It's a little bit of a journey. Forgive me while I pull up all of my art. Silly roll 20. I'll bring
my
back
bad.
to the map ever so
I'm so sorry.
briefly.
I forgot
You're
about
good.
the carriage. My bad. So
What are you
then I
doing?
will
Oh,
climb
you
it.
get to climb on my shoulders while you're sitting in the carriage.
No,
You're like, can I sit on your shoulders?
That's it. I thought we were walking up the creepy terrain, and I forgot about the stagecoach. So my bad.
Yeah.
Sheesh, how much scotch have you had?
None.
No.
Well, here, I'll drink some more for you.
I kind of want scotch now.
The ground really drops off to your right as you would have a little bit of a view to the Serre Pool, which is the Vistani encampment where y'all got your reading from Madame Ava.
Excuse me.
And as you get closer, you might recall that first view of the castle from the village Barovia. It looks like it's hanging out on top of it, but it's really way, way, way above and behind it, or beyond it. Get a little sight of the village that y'all first saw when you came into to this place. Forgive me, this is where the maps get so complicated and why I never wanted to bring you guys to Ravenloft.
I mean, you're the GM. Don't you have the power to just say?
Yeah, you know what? Dinner's canceled.
Yeah. Why?
Strahd is like, you call this a stew? Cancel it all.
It's the diva.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very Strahd thing to do.
I will not have my guests eating this crap.
It's humiliating.
These guests that I'm definitely intending to kill.
We're just good friends. Okay. Here's some flavor text for you. After winding through the forest and craggy mountain peaks, the road takes a sudden turn to the east, and the startling, awesome presence of Castle Ravenloft of towers before you. Oh, the castle towers before you. There you go. The carriage comes to a dead stop before twin turrets of stone, broken from years of exposure. Beyond these guard towers is the precipice of a 50-foot wide, fog-filled chasm that disappears into unknown depths. Just below you is just horrifying. Forgive me, there's music for this, and it was so cool. Walls of Ravenloft. Let's try that. It's like so epic. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess there's a low point.
All right. A lowered drawbridge at the castle. Oops. Come on back. Silly roll 20. Oh, where the hell was I? J. A lowered drawbridge over this chasm. A lowered drawbridge of old, shored-up wooden beams stretches across the chasm between you and the archway to the courtyard. The chains of the drawbridge creak in the wind, and their rust-eaten iron staining under the weight. From atop the high walls, stone gargoyles stare at you out of their hollow eye sockets and grin hideously.
Are they stone, or do their heads move like kind of like Ghostbusters, or are they? It's just like stone.
Again, all those.
Like,
actually, I would like to take a look at them while we're passing by them.
Such
are
great
they
art.
Statues? Are they statues, or are they like?
They are way up high. So atop the
I
high
don't got my
walls. Okay,
bird.
these walls. Let me. I can show you this. This is what I'll show you. Show it
Show
to
it to me.
players. Show
I
me.
want to see it.
Show me something. Yeah, there's no spoilers here. Yeah. The walls.
Holy crap!
The courtyard has 90-foot high walls.
Oh my
So
god!
you walk into the courtyard and you're already in a fortress. So that's that 90-foot mark is where you see the gargoyles way up there. And so, as far as you know, I mean, they might not. It might just be regular old gargoyles. I mean,
If we can't get
statues.
out-
But you also get a sense of the height of this. I mean, those numbers don't really communicate the fucking hugeness of this castle.
Oh, 360 feet. It's pretty. I mean, that's massive.
It's pretty big. I'm going to move y'all. What map should I put you on?
The coolest
On
one.
the one with Minnie and Rogue.
Yeah.
The one that's sunflowers and rainbows.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
That's when we actually get out of Barovia if we survive.
You know what? Inspiration, Minnie.
Stop it! Stop it!
But,
Not GMing for a change.
No, I'm helping him. And myself.
You know what? This map is not great. Well, it shows you the. Shit.
Just show it. Just show it.
I'm trying. I have to drag
it.
each of you individually onto the map. Just a second, sir.
I bet you won't. Bet you won't.
Do it.
I hate you
Do
all.
it. Do it.
Poor Rogue can't see shit.
I can't
I'll
see
go ahead
shit
and,
either.
I'll go ahead and put all of you on the map just so you all get the same view.
Is it because he's blind?
And poor little Zash. Okay, Zash is there too.
Oh, there.
Okay. So you enter from the drawbridge to your east, for your left, your west, toward the east, and this is not again. Get a sense of the scope of this place. You know that view from over the other side of the Ravenloft is where the city overlooks, and that view is way over here. If y'all zoomed way the hell out on your map, you'd see where I'm pinging. It's big. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what she said.
And if you tried to walk around the building, you'll see that there is a big portcullis dividing the western part of the yard from the eastern part of the yard. It's big, there's a lot. But yeah, the wagon will stop right here and the doors will open right here. And let me just make sure got the right stuff pulled up. The door opens. I'm going to move all of you to a different map. And again, forgive me, I'm grabbing tokens. This is not.
And to be clear,
prepared.
we're not. I think I'm just clarifying.
No,
I
please,
think
please.
This is the case.
Ask
We
questions
don't-
while I'm working, please.
We don't.
No, I need you to fill the air.
Oh, okay. We are not. Like Rogue and Minnie actually aren't there yet.
No,
They're
we-
just-
yeah,
they're
we are
tokens
not
there
there.
to help give
I put
them
the
sight.
tokens there just so they can see something.
Yep. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
So yeah, Paul tentatively gets out of the carriage, following behind Zash. And Paul's not a coward, but I think he's an old gnome in these 90-foot walls, and they're towering over him. So I imagine there's like a gulp, because as a priest of Kalimvor, like we are all against. They're all against the undead, and so I can't. I can only imagine that as this is going on, he's just like, all right, this is the show. All right, we're here. We're ready to do this.
Yes, we get dinner.
As the door opens, you see out in the. They didn't have rain in my Sirenscape. Say.
That's a good question. Is it currently raining right now?
Yes, it is raining. So I wanted to point that out too for flavor because I forgot the next morning everything was icy. You guys had that downpour, and the next morning everything was frozen solid. The whole city was like an ice skating rink.
Oh wow.
And I forgot that happened. And so the town had just frozen solid that night. And then it started raining again. After you talked to Vasily, it started raining again, which made everything super slippery. Things started to melt, and it's been sort of slightly raining for the journey over here. As you get closer to the castle, the rain comes down even harder. Okay, the ornate outer doors of this castle hang open, flanked by fluttering torches and iron sconces. 20 feet inside the castle is a second set of doors, but before you do a damned thing... oh, that's fun, too. Let me do that.
I don't know if it's fun.
Maybe it's not fun. You see... you didn't see him before, but now you see a really odd little fellow shows up in the courtyard with you. Don't get your hopes up. Yeah. Let me just pop up the character art while I'm getting his token ready. He doesn't quite look like this. He actually kind of dressed up.
He says, "Oh, welcome, my master. My master will be so happy to see you."
Oh, his hair is instead of looking like this, he's actually wearing like some like leather clothes, and his hair is like slicked back with this like pungent grease that you can smell. He's trying to be fancy for you, obviously.
Yes, I am Cyrus. I will escort you into the castle.
As you look at him, as much as he tries to look like he's well dressed and fancy, you can see he's a freak. He's
in the sheets.
He's actually not that short. He's about 4'9", but he looks shorter because he's so hunched over. And the left side of his face is covered with lizard scales. He has the ears of a panther. His left foot, which they couldn't put nice shoes on, is like a duck's webbed foot. And his arms have like patches of like black like animal hair.
I will step forward and put out a hand to shake and be like, "It's a pleasure to meet you, Cyrus."
Cyrus Bellevue. Welcome to Castle Ravenloft.
I'm Gosa. My friends call me Paul.
Gosa Paul. Gosa. I'm so happy you're here. It's a little good. Okay, you must enter the castle, please. You weren't even there, weird token. What are you doing out here?
Zash is just at this point looking at him kind of with his snake head cocked sideways.
Awesome.
You look like a Bellevue. Welcome. Please come in.
Yeah, so he escorts you in.
The master will be seeing you very soon.
Sorry, music is
You good, buddy?
fun to do all this at once. But I've also, at least for the path to the dining hall, I've installed the new Roll20 doors that you guys can open yourselves.
What?
I know. You're welcome.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, this music should be... There it is. You do get a little hint of organ music coming in from inside the castle.
Cyrus says, please, get in out of the rain, please. You're so slow. This way, right in this way.
Let's see, K7, I just want to make sure I get this.
Is this the right way? I don't know. Do I go to this door? No, it's okay. Well, I guess I'll just.
Please enter. Please.
I don't know where y'all went.
Okay, follow me.
Could you not see our Zash? Am I not on the right? Oh shit! I don't think I
Oh,
moved you
you're
guys
on the
over.
GM overlay, aren't you?
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
okay.
I put you guys in the wrong
That's all right.
fucking map. Jesus Christ!
That's okay,
You're still on the wrong
buddy.
map.
Please, Cyrus, I'm over here, inside the fucking first door.
Oh, yes. Now I see. Now I
yes.
see. Thank
There
yes.
you are.
Yep. I'm going to let Zash go first. Yep.
Please.
Of course.
Please.
Go ahead, buddy.
He just kind of steps to the side. Let me see what else it says. As you walk into this first room, a set of double doors to the west is the exit, obviously. And overhead in the vaulted foyer, there are 4 statues of dragons glaring down, and their eyes just kind of flickering in the torchlight of this room. As you get if little bit closer, you'll find that this next door opens automatically to you as well.
Ooh.
Just boop, opens right up. And when it does, you'll see another character standing here in this grand, let me describe it first, the grand entry. Cobwebs stretch between columns that support the vaulted ceiling of a great dusty hall, dimly lit by sputtering torches and iron sconces. The torches cast odd shadows across the faces of 8 stone gargoyles squatting motionlessly on the rim of the domed ceiling. Cracked and faded ceiling frescoes are covered by decay. Double doors of bronze stand closed to the east, just across from where you enter. To the north, a wide staircase opens to darkness. Let me make sure my character is here on the right layer. A lit hallway to the south contains another set of bronze doors, through which you can hear sad and majestic organ tones. As you walk in here, are we all in except for our 2 newbies?
Zash, do you hear those sad yet majestic organ tones?
Yes, I'm not
Quite
that
fascinating. Yeah, I just wasn't certain if... That's fine.
Do you not like music?
No, I love music. I just wanted to, reiterate the sad, majestic organ tones. It's quite fun. The acoustics in this place are excellent. I don't know if you can, just like all the vaulted ceilings and all that.
You get closer and closer. There's another main floor. Did they have? You know what? Yeah, I'll make it louder. As you get closer and closer to the... Oh, I'm sorry. You don't get closer because you're greeted by this gentleman first. He says, greetings. My name is Rahadin. I'm happy. He kind of like looks you up and down. He says, You'll do fine for dinner tonight. The master will meet you in the dining hall. Yes?
Will be fun. Are you talking the way we're dressed, or are we to be dinner?
It would be rude to eat your dinner guests.
Yes. Are you sure? Because Paul, is it rude?
No, we're good. We're great. We are very much looking forward to dinner. And he's kind of like looking at Zash like, we're good. We're good.
I'm going to say, Zash, as you get... Let me also give you a little glimpse of this guy. This guy is an elf.
It looks like he's had a lobotomy.
Which
he's got
not
scars.
common for this area.
He's got scars, for sure, like battle scars. Where the friggin' fraggin'? There it is. I'm going to say, Zash, you are close enough to him that just as you step in closer, like, what do you mean? Is it the way I'm dressed? Like, you get just close enough to hear him. Just close enough, when you get about 10 feet away from him, you hear the sound of voices screaming out in agony that, like, it almost hurts you just to be close to him. And he would see you, like, react to that. He said, please stand back. You're welcome. The door to the right, just down the hall. He gestures this direction.
Zash just again cocks his head sideways. He takes a step back while he starts thinking. Why would I start hearing something like that? And he starts racking his brain.
Yeah, it's hard to know. He didn't seem to have done it to you on purpose. It's all you can really tell. But there's something like painful about being close to this guy. Says, please. He's waiting for you. I'm sorry, I forgot his accent. He's a little bit of a southern gentleman. So he would definitely. Okay, let me see what K9, the next little section, looks like here. Forgive me. Torchlight. This next little area to your south, if you were to make your way down here. I'm sorry, I'm also forgetting our extra 2 PCs. Oh, I'm also pinging on the GM layer. That's always helpful. I'm drawing things on the map. That's always helpful.
Oh, we should start drawing things on the map. Okay.
Please don't draw dicks on Castle Ravenloft. The Lord of the Castle doesn't take kindly to dicks drawn on his castle.
I swear to God, Chester, if you draw a dick and it ends up killing us,
this is really meta supernatural. Did you draw a dick on my castle? And this stew is unacceptable.
Hopefully Strahd doesn't look at the last map.
Oh my God. Okay, so torchlights flutter against this vaulted hall. After this session, I want to show you guys the animation of this first floor. I think I may have shown you a while back, the original players. It's so fucking cool. I'll get a flavor of what this place looks like. Torchlight flutters against the walls of this vaulted hall. To the east, an arched hallway stretches up for 20 feet.
Love you, Betty. Oh, sorry.
Ending with a spiral staircase over here that goes both up and down. Next to the hallway, a suit of armor, oiled and glistening, stands at attention in a shallow alcove just down here in this corner. To the west, large double doors hang open, slightly open, and a steady bright light escapes through the opening. Swells of organ music come from behind the doors, spilling their melody of power and defeat into the hall. So yeah, we'll do dinner. I have my organ music.
I know
I
it
think
did
it's,
get a little quiet.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Let's replay it. All right, and I've already moved Chen into here because I was playing with dynamic lighting and tokens earlier. So if you're welcome to join him, this character is already in here as well. You walk into this room.
Zash will just stroll into the room, as happy as he can be that he's getting meat.
The smells hit you immediately. It smells like, just smells divine. Like this place has only had like wolf steaks and like root vegetables and like some poultry. It's been like really slim pickings for food. This place just smells so rich with food. Like foods that you wouldn't think are even available in this realm. Allow me to read a little flavor text as you just look inside here. 3 enormous. I'm also going to move you all to another map that's off of the main and castle map just to make it tight. Atmospheric. I added dynamic lighting and everything. If you don't have,
you can remove my vision.
Are you?
If I'm even in there yet.
You're fine. You're not in there. You're not in there.
Okay.
Terramin's sitting there. So let's read the flavor text first. 3 enormous crystal chandeliers brilliantly illuminate this magnificent chamber. Pillars of stone stand against the dull white marble walls, supporting the ceiling. In the center of the room, a long, heavy table is covered with a fine white satin cloth. The table is laden with many delectable foods. Also, there's a buffet up here on those side walls in this art. Roasted beast basted in savory sauce, roots and herbs of every taste, and sweet fruits and vegetables. Places are set for each of you with fine, delicate china and silver. At each place is a crystal goblet filled with an amber liquid with a delicate, tantalizing fragrance. At the center of the far west wall, between floor-to-ceiling mirrors, stands a massive organ over here. Its pipes blare out a thunderous melody that I'm not playing right now, that speaks in its tone of greatness and despair. Seated at the organ, facing away from you, A single caped figure pounds the keys in raptured ecstasy. The figure suddenly stops, which is appropriate for the moment here. The music stops as a deep silence falls over the dining hall, and it turns toward you. Reveal this. Oh, that's another piece of art. just to see. It's not like super helpful, but hey, you can look at it.
Oh, that is beautiful art. That's awesome.
This is from the book. So, yeah. So it has these weird like statues like coming out of the out of the organ.
Did the music stop playing like when we entered, or is it? Still
going? Is it still going? It shouldn't be going now.
It stopped.
No, I just want to make sure.
It might loop. Paul, what?
Paul give him.
Oh, okay. Clap. Great. And also, as you clap, this figure right here will also clap, and this figure here will also clap. There's also a strange character here, sitting at the table, with these other figures who are already seated at the table. There's also, yeah. So this one's really finely dressed. This one, not so much. But again, Strahd stops, turns around, and says, "Welcome. Please be seated." He takes his spot. He stands at his seat, kind of waiting for you all to get close to your seats.
I will immediately. I'll listen and I'll sit, but I don't have a booster, so my face only comes up to like the side of the table.
That's fantastic. I'd have it no other way.
Zash will, before he takes a seat, reach out his hand and say, "Thank you for inviting me to eat all this delicious food. It smells phenomenal."
Yes, it does smell quite good.
I'm so glad to have you.
And I listened, and I did not bring my little friend, as you called him.
Yes.
And I'll take a seat.
He kind of just swallows this. Thank you. He was referring to his raven familiar. Thank you, he says. He says, "Well, I believe the four of you at least know each other. I should introduce Escher." This man stands up. He's very finely dressed, but it's very colorful and kind of whimsical, but fine. He takes a little bow and he says, "Escher, at your service." He says, "I welcome you to Castle Ravenloft." And he takes a seat. He takes a seat. Then the next, he says, "Doru." Doru stands up. Say, again, this artwork is funny because he's like freaking out in this artwork. But he says, we've met before. We have? Yeah.
Who's the one saying that?
Doru. Yes, the one who looks like he's freaking out.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance again.
Hi.
And I'm sorry I forgot you.
It has been like 6 months.
He looks at each of you. You don't seem to recognize him. So, well, okay. And he kind of looks back down and Strahd just kind of smiles.
Do we notice? So I know from his artwork, he has fangs. Is that something we notice as well?
Yeah, I would think so. He's not very good at concealing himself.
Wait a minute. I think I know where we met you.
Is he the son of the preacher?
Strahd says, "Oh, you have met."
Yes, we brought him some blood.
Yes.
We brought him like a bunch of cow's blood, right? To help sate his vampiric thirst.
Yes. Doris says,
we thought it would be like a small mercy for the priest.
Yes, you did. Thank you for that. Strahd again is like, "That's enough, Doru." And he just kind of looks down at his plate. He says, "There's one more guest here you've not yet met. This is well, describe yourself, Rogue. If you're there." I don't know if he's there. His camera's off. That's so
Rogue went
funny.
off
He would
that
disappear
camera.
whenever I
Can you hear me?
Yes, anyway.
Yeah, this guy is dark, tangled, gray hair, and pulled back in a ponytail. Very pale skin, dirty. He looks rough. He doesn't maybe look like he belongs at this dinner table, and the look on his face is very much like he doesn't want to be here at all. But he turns towards you when you look at him, and you can see the side of his face is rather rotten, like some necrosis going on, and the nose area is missing, and the side of his lip is rotten, and eyes are kind of sunken. And he looks to you and nods, though. And he says, Terramin. Terramin? Well met.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Termin. I am Paul.
Zash once again just tilts his head.
Termin?
I'm Zash, sir.
Yes. Termin got here just before you did.
Oh, yeah.
He says, we're just getting to know each other. He says, please. He kind of like claps his hands, and a couple of servants like run in, bringing like, again, that says the food's out, but they come out and start like serving stuff to you guys. I'm not good at describing food, but imagine there's some sweet ass food being brought to you. What appears to be a human woman comes out with a platter and starts to serve each of you.
Those big creepy ass eyes.
Yeah. And
she's afraid.
Yeah,
and
she could be afraid.
She's joined by another helper who they may have been in the room the whole time, but they are the help, so they're not like prominent or to be introduced. Another one is also making her rounds, feeding everybody. This one down here with the creepy eyes seems happy to be there, like genuinely happy. She doesn't seem scared. She might even try to chat with you. And the other one, the top, she seems less enthusiastic, let's say. She doesn't make eye contact with you. She doesn't make eye contact with Strahd or with anyone else. She just kind of does the work, and doesn't seem like she really wants to be there. But the one at the bottom again, it's like, you guys are so interesting. Where did you come from? And Strahd would be like, Mel, sorry. Strahd will say, Gertruda, don't talk to them. Just, you serve, you stay silent. Yes, Lord Strahd. Yes, Lord Strahd. As she, I'll go ahead and, Gertruda. And he says, please, allow me to just welcome you to Castle Ravenloft. It is a rare occasion that I get to welcome new guests into my home. Allow me to give you a little bit of history of the castle as they're passing out food. You guys could start just chowing down. The drink that you have available is also it's like a fine like scotch. It's also at the table. There's this stuff again. There's like they bring out like lobster tail. They bring out like where the hell do they get this stuff? There's things you've never seen anyone in this world have access to. And it all seems beautifully cooked. Cyrus comes back.
Let me help you guys. Let me see. You like the lobster? Is lobster good?
And Cyrus is like, Cyrus, please. Strahd says, Cyrus, please. And we're trying to talk. And
Sorry, Strahd.
just let me know if you need anything. And he's in and out, being a spaz. Meanwhile, Strahd explains.
While the food's being passed out, and when the girl that's passing the food out to Zash approaches him, Zash like takes the whole tray from her, but he longingly like just touches her hand and gives her a little snaky smile. Thank you.
He you're welcome.
And then he takes the entire tray of food.
She looks around like she's gonna get in trouble.
Paul is kind of just waiting to see if everybody else is eating. I think he's really focused on Termin because to see if Termin takes any bites.
Termin, yeah. I'm not sure if Termin eats food.
He stares at the food with like disgust, and he like keeps looking over, like staring.
Yeah,
daggers at Strahd, I think.
It's also
Zash is already halfway into a steak, and he's using the wrong fork and the wrong knife.
Nice.
At this point,
it might be worth pointing out that Escher, Doru, and Strahd are not partaking in the food either, but they are drinking from goblets. Strahd continues. This is Castle Ravenloft. I know it's not much to look at now, but back in its day, it was the greatest castle in the continent. I knitted it for my mother. BT dubs, since you're so curious.
What did he say?
I knitted it for my mother.
He got it from his mother?
Ravenloft named the castle for his mother.
Named it. Got it. Sorry.
Named his... Yes, it's okay. Queen Ravenovia was her name.
Paul's just intently listening.
Yes, I once used to be like you. Well, not like you, but mortal. And I came to this land as a conqueror.
Huh.
Oh, so you were in the military as well?
He nods.
What regiment were you with? And Zash is brushing off the meat crumbs from his tunic.
I was in no regiment. I was the military. The commander for King Barov.
I'm not familiar with him.
It's been a while, he says.
He did his job all too well.
Did you serve with him?
Termin like looks over at Strahd and then looks over and shakes his head.
Strahd again has this little smile, this little glint of his fang, and he says,
"Oh, so he was your enemy."
We can let bygones be bygones. It's been a while, hasn't it, Termin?
It's been too long.
Agreed.
You know what Paul feels like right now? He feels like Jesse from Breaking Bad drinking water between
That's funny.
Walter and Skylar. Yeah.
It has been long enough. I'm so glad to have you here. Drinking. Merriment, please. He like snaps his finger and the organ like continues to play by itself. He says, the castle has been run down. Over the centuries, I've grown bored. I'm sure you're all wondering why you're here. It's I have been calling adventurers to this land for some time. As uh, uh, as he says that, you hear Rahadin pops up right in the door. Chen gets a little like ah as he pops up. Cyrus too, like instinctively just backs away from him and gives him a wide berth. And Rahadin says, "Lord, I'm sorry to interrupt. I need you for a moment." Strahd looks at him angrily, and he turns back to the group and says, "Please excuse me." And Strahd and Rahadin kind of disappear for a minute, leaving you guys in there without them.
So it's the servants and the guests and us.
Yeah. Esther looks at the door.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet all of you. If you don't mind me asking, how did you become friends with Lord Strahd?
And Doru says, I wasn't his friend at first. I joined that crazy wizard who thought he could take over the castle, and well, he couldn't. So everyone died, but not me. He thought it'd be funny to turn me into a vampire and send me back to my father.
The words "this crazy wizard" sparked something in his mind.
This crazy wizard. What do you mean?
Yes.
I don't know. He sounded important. He seemed like the real deal. He had a long name. I don't remember. I just know that he built an army to stand against the castle, and we were sure it would work.
How did it fall apart?
Escher looks at him, looks at you, and says, "I don't know if he can be defeated." Doru looks at him like, "What are you saying?" And Cyrus comes back through, just like dropping plates, and Escher kind of like hushes for a second, like, "Did the lighting just change on Roll20? Was it just me?"
Guess it's
Just
just you. It looks fine for me.
That was weird. It like went dark for me. Anyway, Cyrus comes through, and Escher kind of like clams up. He says, "Strahd is more powerful than you can even imagine," he says. I'm not from here.
Escher, you're not from here?
I was sat where you sat. About a century ago. Yeah, I came with my own group of friends. And
Dash looks down at his belt, kind of hiding the skull that is still on his belt.
Tell us about your friends.
I, GM, don't remember. Let's say he describes the ones y'all killed in the coffin maker shop.
Sure.
Zash really hides the skull
Yeah.
on his belt.
Yeah.
I forget if it was the coffin maker or the Burgermeister's mansion that he got the skull from.
Yeah. Escher picks up on it. He says, "I know. You put them to rest." And
you harbor no ill will?
I would have done the same thing in your shoes. I did do the same thing. We killed a lot of vampire spawn.
If you don't mind me asking, Escher, how come you're not eating?
He laughs. And
Well, he's a vampire, of course.
yeah, he points through his teeth.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was trying to. Paul was just trying to be tactful about
Yeah.
it. He didn't know.
Zash has no tact.
I know. That's why I think we're a fun combo.
He just kind of points to his teeth. And he says, but I'm no vampire spawn. I'm a full-blown vampire, he says.
How does one become a vampire,
Oh my
such
God.
as you?
No, this is a bad idea. Shut up. So you don't want this.
Oh, you want to know?
Yes.
He said, well, it wasn't... I guess it was my choice. He says he liked me best. And I liked the attention. So I became one of his, well,
Minions?
the others call themselves brides.
Playthings.
He looks at the Terraman. He says, consorts will do fine, thank you.
Oh, and Zash kind of gives a little grin, and then he looks over at Duvod, who I imagine is just appalled at the fact that he's sitting next to a vampire right now.
Yeah. It's probably freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
Actually surprised that they let Duvod keep his crossbows, as itchy as his trigger finger is.
Esther's like, you really wouldn't stand a chance. Not yet.
Yes, I have to become aware of something. Do you know how to become aware of something?
Oh, wear something.
Yes. I know there's many aware things.
If you don't mind me asking,
Look, Paul being
So-
so polite.
It's been,
So you should be. You should be.
yes, so you are, so you've been his consort for one of his consorts for over a century. Hmm?
Yes.
Is he a gentle lover?
And I will, even as he says that, Paul probably blushes a little bit, and then as Chris blushes and looks towards Tamarin, he's like, "So, how are you friends with Strahd?"
Friends.
He's not friends. He's
Paul
an enemy.
could. Tamarin would be able to tell that Paul can definitely has like a forced smile on his face.
I think Terriman, like you notice at that point that he's kind of been staring at you. Reminds me of that scene from American Werewolf in London when his dead friends comes to visit him, you know? And he's just been staring there, looking at him for a little bit, trying to studying him, I guess. And when you ask him that question, he kind of snaps out of it for a second. He says, "We are not friends."
yes. I can
How
tell.
did the
Exactly.
two of
He
you?
dragged me out of the dungeon, actually, and invited me to dinner.
Oh, well, that's I trust your accommodations are comfortable.
Actually, I didn't get to tell Rogue about his accommodations. Dude, the dungeon is fucking awful. It's worse than I thought. I looked at it, like, oh no. It's like 3 feet of water, dead bodies, voices screaming. You can't even tell who's in the other cages and cells. It's fucking awful. Even for an undead person like Terriman.
So I imagine like that's it's like almost a Family Guy gag. Like,
I trust your accommodations are
Adequate?
comfortable, and then it's like screen shift to the dungeon.
Yeah.
Dead bodies just floating, stagnant water.
Yeah, right.
Then it comes back to Tamarin looking at him straight in the face.
So he probably flashes back to the dungeon in his head, right? Thinking about it. And then he looks at the dinner table, at the glass of wine maybe, and he says, "They're lovely."
Oh, well, at
That's
least
awesome.
glad you have that.
I have neglected to put this help you all put this together. But you guys have also met Terramin. I didn't point this out yet. I don't know how much Terramin might realize.
Oh,
That's what I was
my.
gonna roll. I was gonna roll that to see if he
Okay.
because he's staring at him, trying to study him.
Oh, you're just
And-
trying to figure them out. Yeah.
Yeah, like does he
Shit.
recognize them?
I think I know who this is.
I've already put it together. We fought him coming in.
On the way to the Wizard of Wines? That
No.
one guy?
When we first came in, the Ghost Rider.
I don't know if y'all actually fought that one. I think you hid from that one.
Yeah, we definitely hid from that. Fuck that. I'm not gonna fight no Ghost Rider.
I think the first random encounter that they had. But
So okay, we'll let Rogue tell us.
Should I make a roll?
I think at this point, as they're being friendly toward you, something might just click for you. I mean,
Okay.
I don't want you to have to. I don't want to wait for the dice to make it happen.
Right.
Did
right,
you
yeah.
did you say like we've met before? Is that something you
No,
said?
he hasn't. He has not.
Okay, so then we're okay. I just wanted to play it right, so we are entirely unaware of him meeting us before.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if you
doesn't-
wanted me to.
He doesn't look
Bring
familiar
that out
to you.
yet.
He doesn't look familiar to you. And you don't have to. But I'm just wondering if you, at least maybe you might recognize at this point.
Yeah,
I just
I
be
think
too
he's-
guarded to say anything.
Yeah, I think he's starting to like recognize them a little bit.
Mhm.
But maybe they would just catch that a little bit as he's been like studying them strangely, and maybe it's because he like it has a hard time remembering things too. I think
Mhm. Yeah.
like flashes of
Sure.
memories of like a bunch of different memories. So
For sure. For sure. Yeah. It's been a long time to have that undead spirit to remember everything that's happened to you.
yeah.
Okay. I think
Zash is actually going to pull something out of his tunic.
Oh dear. Excuse me while I whip this out.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So Zash actually takes a piece of parchment and slides it down the table to the gentleman. And it is the parchment of the silver dragon rubbing from the knight that we killed on the way to the Wizard of Wines. Does this seem familiar to you, sir?
Yeah,
When-
that would definitely do it for you.
When he sees that, yeah, it's like the memory hits him, and then you look up, and he looks up at you anyway, and there's this recognition on his face, and his mouth is like open, like in shock, and he says, "I have met you before."
Well,
We have?
Not from this encounter. This gentleman asked us to lay him to rest.
I didn't even put it in the recap. I forgot to put it in the fucking recap.
That's okay. You're good, buddy. You're good.
Yeah.
That's why we have RP.
Yeah.
That's why we have our Pete.
This gentleman fought us and fought us bravely. When he was bested, he asked us to break his curse. We buried him with his military honors.
It was a good burial. My thanks for that.
Paul will lift up a drink to kind of like salute him.
Yeah. Again,
And
does not-
Zash will actually slam his whole drink down when he does it.
he doesn't look the same. He's got different body, different armor, different weapons. It's a different dude physically, but
Yeah.
I think y'all may recall your characters hasn't been that long that
Yeah.
his spirit was kind of cursed to enter dead bodies forever.
Yeah, I recall.
And that he was really kind of mad. He was kind of a crazy, but he doesn't seem quite as crazy now.
He holds up a cup as well. The first time he's touched the food at all or anything, he'll actually grab the wine, I guess, and then salute to them and take a sip.
Yeah.
Some of it probably pours out the side of
The hole in
mouth.
It's the thought that counts. Really.
It's hard to be dignified. He's been in a wet dungeon for a couple days now. So yeah, you guys kind of have this moment of recognition between you. At this point,
and I'm looking at Chin down there, who's trying to like put all the liquor that he can inside his pouches, and just drinking as much as he can.
That is 100% something Chen would do. He'd try to steal the silverware. He would try to eat all the food. He would try to drink. He would be drinking everything until he was in oblivion. Whereas, right, Bees?
Yeah,
right. Absolutely, 100%.
Perhaps he's sitting down there juggling the saucers and stuff like that while Strahd's out of the room, just to lighten the mood.
So, giant untactful snake man. Right? Juggling crazy monk who drinks all the time. And Duvad, who is usually just like quiet and nervous and suspicious
around
of every
vampires.
Fucking person. And so that's probably part of the reason why Paul is like,
yes, well, someone needs to be polite.
I think at this point, like Chen is just getting shit faced.
Zash leans over to Paul and he's like,
do you think the undead man has to poop?
I don't think that's up to us. I think I mean, I don't know. He gets kind of flustered. That'd be a question for him, but not now. Now's not probably a great time to ask him that.
Well, don't worry. I don't want to eat that one.
Okay, good. Probably shouldn't eat people, period, even if they are undead.
Again, we've discussed this.
Again, we've discussed eating.
Strahd darkens the door as you're discussing this. Says, please forgive me. He walks around the table and takes his seat again. He says, thank you for your patience.
I trust everything is okay, my lord.
Yes. In fact, we have another guest for dinner tonight. Please, Rahadin, bring our new guest. And Rahadin, again, will walk in, or he'll gesture for this new character to enter. And I will allow Minnie to describe herself.
That rubbing from the armor is still laying on the table in front of Zash.
Oh, you didn't hand it to him? You just showed it to him?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're keeping it. Or it's out on the table at least.
Yeah, it's sitting on the table.
That's fun.
So
That's awesome.
Through the door, you guys see a relatively decently tall girl, dark hair, beautiful fabrics, very, very. You guys might recognize it from the Vistani you had seen previously. They have very vibrant, beautiful, unique fabrics that they create their outfits out of. But this girl, unlike the Vistani that you had met before, she is not happy to be there. She is gripping her hand and she her daggers. Her eyes are she's staring at Strahd, essentially with daggers. But like I told you before, my lord, I was trying to get shelter from the rain. I heard beautiful music. I just happened to wander in. It will not happen again.
He says, "Oh, there's no need to apologize. You are very welcome here. Just please sit."
Of course. And she's gonna walk up to the furthest chair from Strahd, which
the only one available.
Thankfully is available. Stare at it for 3 seconds before gripping it almost white knuckled and then having a seat. And then just kind of staring at the food. She's not touching it.
Kind of gestures to her and says, "Well, this is Camila. Camila, please introduce yourself to our friends."
Yes. Yes, I am Camila. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, that's me.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Camellia. I am Ghost Paul Darkwander. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yes,
I would be Zash.
Wait.
Zasha.
Who was just talking? I didn't. I
He
heard voices, but I don't see anybody.
he like stands up on top of the chair.
I'm sorry, I tend to be a little bit vertically challenged. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, ma'am.
And he'll give
Oh.
a little bow with a flourish.
It's very nice to meet you.
And Zash introduces himself. I'm Zasha Zaza. And he hands her a plate of meat.
Well, you
That's nice.
Eat. It is delicious.
you are very unique. Yes, you're a very unique individual.
He tilts his head sideways and goes,
Meat.
She'll look at the meat offering and just kind of poke it for a second, and then just kind of look at someone else. She then looks at like the one who's closest to her. Obviously. I mean,
the one
it's
across from me.
no. She's looking at Zeraman.
Oh,
Like
Terraman, gotcha.
Terraman. Sorry, she literally just sat next to like a half corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, he's not like, I don't think he would turns towards her totally to face her, because he looks like he's trying to hide part of his face maybe from her, and then he just says like, Terraman, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And to the individuals over here, I guess. She's now gesturing towards the ones across the table.
The name's Chen.
Yeah.
You want to dance?
he's sitting there juggling.
Any other day, I would be happy to take you up on the dancing, but I don't think right now it's very appropriate.
Zash tries to hand a plate of meat over to Strahd.
Oh, he says, "No, thank you. I have a unique taste," he says.
Yes. Sorry. I'm just so accustomed to eating and. Sorry, sir.
No need to apologize. Your manners are quite becoming.
So,
As you say that, just like a clump of meat falls onto his cloak.
It's like slaps onto the table. Yeah. He looks.
it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, ma'am. And yes, if you don't mind me asking, how do you know Mr. Lord Strahd?
Do I know him? What? So many people say such wonderful things about him. You know, he is the lord of this castle. Yep.
His face is on the coins as Zash holds up a coin.
That is very true. Very true. You want to do a lot of that.
Those were minted so long ago. There should be a mint in the castle, but there isn't.
Is he like lamenting over that in front of us?
Yeah, he's like, it's been a while.
Zash at this point is holding up a coin comparing the likeness.
There used to
You
be a
haven't
mint.
changed a day.
Oh, that's true because of the curse.
So tell us about your curse, sir.
As Zash pounds another glass of scotch.
He says, I am cursed to stay here in this land. At least until I find a replacement. He says, kind of looking.
Zash tilts his
all those
head.
gathered. Yes.
Just in fear now.
Terraman's very interested in this, so he's listening intently.
Yeah, I imagine like Paul is just kind of like looking at him, transfixed, waiting to hear just the next piece of this.
It's just a theory, but I know I'm stuck here in this cycle of death and undeath. Finding love and losing love.
I don't know anything about that.
It feels as if there will be no release from this cycle, but well, he says, I look for companionship. He looks over at Escher. Actually, you know what? He's going to stand up and kind of walk around. He's going to do like a creepy little touch to his shoulder.
You seem to have plenty of companions, my lord.
Yeah, what do you know of losing love?
You know what? Is it even in here? I don't think it is. There's no portrait, but you know what? Yeah, he's going to like go over to the organ, like flip it around, and there's going to be a portrait of Irina on his piano. It's old. He says, "My Tatiana."
Old.
Like it's not built in her lifetime.
As in, it's not built in Irina's lifetime.
Irina's lifetime, yeah. He says, "My Tatiana. She was my love in life. We were to be married in this castle. But she was killed by some renegade guards of mine."
Do I believe him?
About
That's a good
this,
question.
about you know what? If you want to roll insight on that specific part of his speech, go for it. I cannot see because I put it
Oh
on
my
dark
god!
mode.
Yeah,
Oh wow!
I know absolutely nothing about these. I don't
This
even
is
know who that girl
really,
is.
really funny.
I'm gonna actually. Yeah, I think Paul is also going to be kind of like looking for lies or what have you during this.
Zash is actually going to walk up to Lord Strahd and place a hand on his shoulder.
I am so sorry for your loss.
Because remember, Zash and Strahd has had sort of a
Bromance.
not so much a bromance, but an understanding, because he talked Strahd into allowing Irina to actually leave her home to travel with them. He has guided them in a long distance kind of engagement.
You know what?
And Zash has no tact.
That's awesome. Just looking real quick. I think he's going to just raise a finger and push you way the fuck back. Like magically compels you to fly backwards. I'm gonna try to see how this works. Up to 1,000 pounds. Yep, that'll work. Up to 30 feet in any direction. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You know what? You're just gonna slam into this little table back here. Boom.
Okay.
Like, don't touch me, he says.
I've instinctively stood up from my chair when he did that. Like I'm not moving. I just instinctively stood up.
Are you like armed? Like what do you
No, it doesn't look like I'm armed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I have no visible weapons.
Okay. But yeah, he
Zash-
just reaches out a finger and you like fly back.
Zash is stunned for a second, then he looks over and sees the fish.
That's awesome. He says, "No."
Nice.
Camila says, "Like I don't even know that woman." Paul, I'll give you something after. Let him finish his spiel.
Sure.
He says, "No, you don't know that woman. You think you know that woman.
No, actually, I don't.
Not talking to you." He's become very like stern. Not as
Yeah.
smiley and sweet and gracious. Irina, you call her,
Yes.
but she is my Tatiana. Said, we are bound to be together. But every time she returns, she escapes my grasp. I love that lightning.
What, if you don't mind me asking, what do you mean by returns?
He's kind of paces the room as if, I guess you haven't noticed yet. Camila and Terramin would both be familiar, as would Doru and Escher, with how this works. He says, this place is also cursed. It's not just me. The entire land. There's no way to escape. Unless you are Vistani, he says, looking over at Camila.
She kind of grits her teeth a little bit and looks at him.
Says, oh, well, they can't all leave, can they?
Like
But
her
no,
eyes
the
just
rest-
narrow.
Ooh. Does Paul catch that?
I think it's, yeah. No need to roll for this
I mean,
stuff.
yeah, the focus was like on her, so when he said
Sure.
that.
But the, what was I saying? I keep getting interrupted with such great roleplay. I should have written these things down. No, he says, the souls of those who are born here are trapped here. They are then recycled to be born again. They usually have no memory at all or awareness of who they were before. But Tatiana knows. She knows we belong together. And she will be mine again.
If she knows, then how come she hasn't come crawling back to you?
Haven't found the right incentives yet, I suppose. She's scared. She's heard such horror stories about me. She doesn't remember what we once had.
What is it that you once had?
Just time out. What is it that you once had? Let's get to that. I also want to point out that in the reincarnation, the souls being recycled, I think we talked about it before. The little girl at the town square informed y'all that there are also soulless people in Barovia. That the reason why so much of the population is has such a flat affect and they don't react much to things and they don't seem to have much personality is because they have no souls. They are husks of people who have been born without a soul, and they're also in the land.
But are those different than the people that have been just kind of like depressed, like the coffin maker? Or not depressed? Like it seems like there's people where like their will to live has literally just been sucked from them. So are they the same? Like, does
might
Paul
be hard
get
to
into-
tell. It might be hard to tell because the place is so depressing that a lot of people are beat down. But yeah, there are like the first encounter they write in the module is that bartender. He's meant to be a soulless person. Like your first experiences with a soulless person is kind of like
I remember him. Yeah,
not much going on behind the eyes. But really a lot of the characters with whom y'all have interacted, some of the children at the orphanage, or that weren't scared of the hags that were trying to kill them, they just kind of like, well, okay. Those were also soulless people, so they are everywhere, and they're intermingled with people who do have souls with whom y'all have interacted. They just seem to have a bit more of a zest to them. And so anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Your question was, what did you once have, right? What we once had. It said, we were in love. We were engaged to be married. She was taken from me on our wedding day. He just kind of looks off. So I may distract myself with interesting people. Again, he kind of like twirls Escher's hair, and he looks at the four of you, or 5, 6 of you now. He says, outsiders who have that little spark of life that's been missing from this land. And then sometimes I really don't know if I can get out of this cycle. But I believe that someone must rule over this place, and I might find a replacement someday.
Paul, who's been fairly timid since he got here, he doesn't he just kind of looks at Strahd, and he just says, is that why you brought us here as possible heirs? And he just looks at him and does not look away.
Yeah. He says, you? I doubt it. You may prove interesting enough to keep around, though.
Zash looks up from the fish and looks back down at the fish. He just goes back to eating.
So is it death you seek? Is that it?
He looks over at Sir Terraman and he says, not today. Sometimes.
No, he seeks his love.
Again, he says...
That's what they were talking about, right?
As he goes back to eating the fish.
Strahd looks kind of annoyed with you. Yes, that is what I want. More than anything. He comes over to Duvad and Chen. Starts to rub their backs. He says, I think you'll find that each of you do have something very interesting and unique that you've brought to this place.
Can you tell us what that is?
He kind of whispers in Duvad's ear. He whispers in Chen's ear. And he looks back at the rest of you and he says, you belong together. It's destined, isn't it? He looks at Terraman and Camila. And
there's a slight look of recognition when he says destined. But she says nothing.
He says, at this point, he just says, I have promised you safe passage to and from the castle. You may eat to your heart's content, and you may leave. But you're welcome to come back anytime. And he kind of just walks out the door. And Doru and Escher follow him, and so do Chen and Duvad. And
Wait.
What?
Yeah, they just follow Strahd out the door.
Chen, Duvat, Chen.
They don't even look back at you.
Zash grabs his shoulder.
Yeah, you
Paul-
grab Paul's shoulder.
Paul.
Okay.
Do you?
All of a sudden, Zash remembers how, at one point in time, he had to resist Strahd's compulsion.
Mm-hmm.
They are not in their own mind.
They are the last ones out the door.
I know that he tried to grab me, but can I try to like shrug him off or like resist him? Or I don't know if
Sure.
you're trying to grab hard or whatever, Zash, but Paul, like,
Oh, just enough to stop Paul. Just enough to grab his shoulder. He's not trying to forcefully restrain you.
okay. So yeah, like he kind of like shrugs it off and like runs and just like looks around the corner.
You stop right there as you oops, I mean to do the trying tool here, as you walk into an invisible wall of force. It's been cast right here.
Oh, so I'm like right here then.
You just face plant into an invisible wall.
No. This is and he'll look back at Cyrus. He's like, Cyrus, there's our friends. They wouldn't go alone. What's
I knew that bloodsucker was full of crap.
He's very persuasive, man. He's very persuasive.
He just laughs like a maniac.
So, what exactly did he even want? He didn't exactly make it clear. I guess he's just looking for this chick.
He wants to flaunt his power in front of us.
Yes, he did a very good job of that. As we can see, and as she gestures towards Paul, who had face planted on the floor.
Paul is very distraught.
At that time, I'll go ahead and try to discover what kind of magic was cast. As our homebrew rolls go, detect magic is actually a cantrip.
That's right. I should make that clear to many.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know
who
that.
Can do magic. Yeah, I just like the way Pathfinder does it. It's not as expensive. I might change it back.
I don't think I have detect magic anyway, so.
But yeah.
So I'll try to detect magic.
Sure.
Try to help
Casting
me
detect,
determine.
it's like the Pathfinder rules. Casting detect magic. There's definitely magic. I guess it's whatever school. What is it called? The school that protects.
Abjuration.
Yeah, that's what it is. You detect that there's abjuration magic, and it's very strong. Just look it up real quick.
Is there any windows behind us that is on the side?
No, there are not.
Okay.
No, there are not. Let me just look at Wall of Force real quick. I guessed abjuration. Let's double check. No, it's an evocation magic spell actually, and it's a 5th level spell.
Zash will go ahead and
He's not
stand up beside Paul, and he'll actually move Paul out of the way and try to force his way through this magic with just brute strength.
Awesome. Roll is I guess strength check if that's just a straight up strength roll. Wow, that's really sad. You hurt yourself against an invisible wall. I mean,
So what was that
the
about
group,
him saying?
the group is kind of it feels so sad for you. This last character who is also on the other side of the wall, kind of looks at you guys like and decides to just leave.
As Zash is trying to force his way through the wall, he looks up at the redhead and with that snaky, toothy grin that he gave her earlier.
Meanwhile, Gertrude's like, "It's really okay, guys. I mean, he's a little rough around the edges, but once you get used to it, it's pretty nice."
What do you mean get used to it? He just our friends are gone. What do you mean get used to it?
I mean, he lives in this big, beautiful castle. Like, it's kind of romantic.
I really don't share your same definition of romantic.
That is all.
Zash, again, still is trying to strength his way through this thing. He's trying to force his way as much as he can.
It's like, you may as well just wait. I don't know how long it'll be, but he does this sometimes. You get stuck and you just gotta wait.
Paul is no, this is, we've been through so much for them to just walk away around like that. It's not. And he looks at the two of you, at Tamarir and Camilla, and he's like, we can't, I know we just meant you, but we can't just let them go like that.
Well, I could try something, but it'll probably on my own. And I don't know you, and I don't really know about putting my neck out for people I just met.
They're dead already.
Zash again.
I think that hits Paul in the gut when he hears that.
I feel so bad. I could probably Misty step through it, but like she has no reason to go after them.
That's fair.
Zash, once again, trying to strength his way through, speaks to Paul.
Do you remember when Strahd tried to take over my mind? Probably the same thing that occurred.
And he bashes his head against it.
Ouch.
Oof.
Paul looks down and like you see his like little gnome fists like curl up. He's clearly angry and frustrated about what's going on.
That's just taking 8 points of bludgeoning damage from the wall.
4.
That's
What? Oh, half to 4, sure.
You may not want to hurt yourself.
Are you raging? Is that what you said? Or is it because you're raging or is it something else? Are you saying you're raging?
No. Yeah, no, I'm not raged. I thought
then it would be, then it should be 8, unless it's something else.
Yeah, it's 8.
So what about the two of you? Are you just going to? Are you free to leave?
I don't know. I'm gonna go up to it, and I'm not gonna be quite so aggressive, but I'm gonna try to step into the barrier first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming there's resistance.
It feels like a wall. This feels like a wall, like an invisible wall. It's as solid as like a brick wall, but you can't see it. It doesn't cave or move at all.
Doesn't appear that.
You need to wait, guys. Just wait. Jeez.
Well, to be honest, or to be fair, they did just watch their other friends leave. How come their other friends got to leave before them? Before us? Saying that. What gave them priority over us?
I didn't mean to move the wall. I was trying to move tokens and I moved the wall. Cyrus again says this.
He's very persuasive. He's very persuasive.
It doesn't even make sense. It's just, you get the sense he's a little nutty.
Yes, we all know he's very persuasive.
Very.
He moves over the wall.
Very persuasive wall.
Paul.
Gertrude, go ahead.
Yeah, Paul shakes his head, and as the wall is there, he's looks at Camilla and Tamarir, and he places
Tamarin.
Tamarin. I'm so sorry,
It's okay.
Tamarin.
We're all learning it. It's the first game.
imagine like he puts his hand on his like forehead and is kind of like rubbing it, clearly frustrated, and you could even see like his like it pop up his toupee a little bit as he does it. And he brings his like both hands up to his face, kind of puts them in and like rubs it like when you're really mad and frustrated. Yeah. And so and you can see him like talking very tensely. So it appears that we've lost our companions. And he looks at Tamarin and Camille.
Give me a moment.
And
while you're saying that, like she could see the visible pain in your face. I'm sure you're not hiding it.
Yeah.
You see as she reaches to her side, and there were no weapons, but there was like a bundle of cloth. And she slowly unfolds these like silk fabrics, and bundled inside is a disgusting book that looks like it's made of human flesh. And she kind of peels open, or she opens up the page and taps her finger on, and you can hear her, "Wake up, my little friend." And like they're from the book, the ink that formed the words begins to pool into the center of it and curl up into like a shadowy form that expands, and you see it forms into the body of an owl with a ghostly white face. Umbra. And she shuts the book, rewraps it up, and puts it over there. Umbra, as soon as this wall is down, I want you to see if you can follow where their friends went.
Awesome.
He looks at her and he just nods. Thank you.
Zash
Can't
not
make any
even
promises.
being affected by the fact that this being was just summoned, because of course he's familiar with it. Takes a running. Yep, familiar with it. Pun intended. Takes a running charge towards this wall this time.
She's gonna try to stop him. No, wait. you gotta
Nope,
stop.
Nope.
Just gonna do a running charge of the wall again.
Yep, running charge to the wall.
Roll with advantage.
You're just going
24.
to hurt yourself.
24 with advantage.
Should save, but that's no, you still hurt yourself.
Damn. So
10 points of damage.
Paul's like, it's not working. We just need to follow the good service's advice, and I think we just need to wait it out.
I think Terriman stands up at this point. He's probably been sitting there thinking for a long time. And he says, I've been trying to kill him for so long.
Strahd?
And I failed every time.
Have you had...
Gertruda kind of walks away like not wanting to hear this.
Yeah, who is that?
Gertruda, she was one of the like people who was helping.
Yeah, she's the one that was like fangirling over him.
She was just friendly to y'all and to everybody.
Yeah,
she doesn't like hearing you talk badly about him.
Yeah.
She looks kind of sad.
And she says
he's like weirdly like naive or like innocent.
Right.
But yeah, and go ahead.
And then Terriman like actually looks over to those servants, and he says, "I failed so many times that now I only search for things that he loves to destroy them." And he looks over at that servant that's over there, not the girl. I think she's too innocent, too mindful of. Reminds him of somebody else. But that one there kind of starts to look angrily towards that one.
Paul kind of like looks around at this whole thing, and I imagine like he takes a step back. He's probably breathing really hard. He looks at Zash, who's banging his head up against the wall, trying to charge in for the friends. Like he remembers his friends just walking away. He looks at Camilla, who just took out this book, would appear to be made of flesh. And he looks at this undead guy, and he he's a priest of Celeborn, and so like undead is an abomination to him, and so like he's just like. I imagine like Christians have this thing. It's called like the Serenity Prayer, and it's like, Lord, grant me the strength to do these things. And I imagine he does the equivalent of that with the Celeborn, like, oh, Celeborn in this time rhymes around. Like he's not saying this aloud, but in his mind, he's like these abominations and heathens that walk here. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. Your voice is quiet, and I imagine he's kind of like hyperventilating a little bit. And like he has like just this pause, this moment of clarity, takes a big deep breath out, and he like takes a step forward and places a small hand on the back, and he's just like one step at a time, and places his like hand on the back of a Tamarind. God damn it.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
I need to see it.
Can you not see it on his token?
I
No.
cannot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
That might be what it was.
I said to.
You have to go in and put C now. I don't know why they did that, but you got to go in and click C on it. Yeah, you go into the token and put C.
He places a hand on the back of Terramin's calf, which is probably about as far as he can reach, and he just says quietly, "No." And he
Yeah, I think that's.
I'm gonna place my hand on the wall and close my eyes and whisper and cast message towards the monk that was in the party.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me if you are safe.
Let me double check that you can cast a message to somebody that you don't have to see them for message, or do you?
Creature within range of 120 feet. The target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. You can cast a spell through solid objects if you are familiar with the target and know it's beyond the barrier. Magical silence, 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood blocks the spell. The spell doesn't have to follow a straight line and can travel freely around corners or through openings.
Interesting. Okay. So I mean, it says you point toward a creature. So where are you pointing?
So I was pointing out the door.
Just out the door.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, because I don't know which direction they took.
Yeah.
But I am pointing, like, just got that monk in my vision to try to.
Fair. Yeah. Roll just a straight up d20. Let's see if you roll a luck roll. If you get 15 or higher, then you might hit him.
Oh my god! What is with these nat ones?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't feel it ping off of anything. You reach for it and it doesn't. You get nothing back.
I think when you touch Terramin's back and say, "What did you say?"
I just say like softly, not like meanly, just like softly. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think that snaps him out. That's enough to just snap him out of it because he's like looking angrily towards that guy, and he says, "This is not the place."
And he continue. Sorry.
I would travel with you and help you.
And he looks at Terramin and he says, "Your soul may be bound and may be cursed, but it's still yours. I'd love for you to join us."
And then he nods, and he nods to the snake man. And then he looks to Camilla. And he says, and you could escape this place. Perhaps
That is certainly something I want to do.
Cyrus is now like walking along the wall, like climbing on the table and just pressing against it.
Very persuasive.
He's pushing up against the wall. And Gertrude is eating like a pork loin
Being a little annoyed, I'm gonna look over at him, like doing his little thing on the table, and like kind of like discreetly, cast Mage Hand, and my Mage Hand's gonna like slither across the floor up on the table and just try to trip him.
Oh, something I was also didn't put in the recap, but it's just the cool thing about this world. I'm not sure if I told
it's
you.
skeletal.
Yeah, your mage hand does not look like it does in the outside world. It's weirdly twisted.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
like a skeletal hand appears. It's not like a regular mage hand.
It like comes up through the table and tries to trip.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Okay, so it does, just because it's fun. I'm not gonna make you roll for it. It does trip him, and he hits his head on the wall.
Oh,
and then
oh dear, are you okay?
And
oh, super sweet.
and then I lose my headphones because I'm too enthusiastic.
You're so persuasive.
Then he falls off the table.
He's like, I told you just had to wait.
Here's the walls. As he tumbles off the table,
the wall drops.
Falls. Yeah, the wall's gone, and he falls to the floor.
I told you just had to wait.
Like rubbing his head with his weird animal hand.
The wall goes down. I'm assuming Umbra's going to follow my command to try to look for them.
Sure.
But do it so like quickly but stealthily, trying to stick to the shadows.
Awesome. Let's bring us back to the biggin map.
Oh, there we
go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, I don't have a token for your little bird on this map. Is everybody on the map at least? Okay, Strahd's not there.
Yeah.
I'm on there.
It's managing tokens between multiple maps is stupid. Okay, and let's get your little birdie on there too. Can you drag it on?
Let me see.
I can do it. Just click on the word, not the picture of Umbra, and drag it onto the map. There you go.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, so do you do the thing with your familiar where you like stop and use your bird senses as your own, or do you just send it off and continue to do your own thing and wait for it to like report back?
I think what I'll do, if someone could watch my back, I could see through the eyes of my bird. Because
I
will be useless for a minute or so.
Paul nods to her and like takes out his symbol of Kelemvor.
Okay.
And is like on the ready.
When he does that, you watch as my eyes just turn completely black, and I can now see through the eyes of my bird.
Awesome. So, are y'all kind of like piling up like in the doorway, about to leave out together, or just hanging out in there, or what?
Did he leave the snake man? Did you leave the rubbing on the table?
I did.
Tierman's gonna take that and then ask him, may I keep this?
Yes.
Awesome.
And my bird has a 60-foot fly speed.
Does it have like? It doesn't have like a what is it like a scent or any kind of special kind of.
Dark vision 120 feet, passive perception 13, an additional stealth of 3, plus 3 to its perception, and it has keen hearing and sight. So it has advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing or sight. As well as doesn't provoke opportunity attacks if it flies by targets that are aggressive towards it.
Cool. Sorry, I need to. I missed a lot of that while I was looking at something else.
Oh, that's okay.
Flip your character sheet real quick. Flyby, you said? That's fine.
It's got flyby and keen hearing and sight.
Okay, that's fun.
And it's the rubbing of the silver dragon symbol?
Yes.
What was that?
The rubbing of the Order of the Silver Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the armor.
That's... God dang it. Jester, give yourself, if you don't have inspiration, take it, because that role-playing that you do, it's just pure flavor, and it comes in so handy all the time. I love it. I love it. All that note-taking and stuff that this character does, I love it. Okay, so inspiration for you, sir. As you're talking about the rubbing, Umbra takes off. You say 60-foot fly speed. I'm gonna make it big, apparently. Let me delete that and bring it back as a regular sized Umbra. Okay. You say 60 feet flying speed?
Yep.
It gets here. Rahadin just looks at it.
Oh, it is trying to also be stealthy, so I don't know if you want me to roll a stealth check for
Okay,
it.
it might roll half speed at that point then.
Oh, that's true. So 30 foot. That's true.
But I mean, yeah, if you wanted to, you may.
Oh, at least it wasn't a 1.
Yeah, you get to plus something. But no, Rahadin is standing right there, and you are looking through the bird's eyes. Right as you get close to Rahadin, you sense that screaming, and your bird just disappears into nothing.
Oh, snap. Okay. And then I regain my senses.
I'm going to send this to you and Rogue, because y'all know a little bit more about Rahadin than the other two do.
Yeah, he sucks.
Okay.
It's good to be a local. You just have more lore. But it's just a little. Anyway. So yeah, you go into his aura and just explode because the poor little bird only has 1 hit point and it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, and it I sent you what happened to it, but you sensed that just again the screaming, and it was just like death by psychic damage essentially.
Does he notice Camilla? Does Paul notice Camilla wince or
Oh,
anything like
should
that?
he have taken a wisdom saving throw?
It doesn't matter. Even if he
Oh.
saved, he's dead.
Oh,
dead
yeah, it's
so.
half damage. All right, that's right. All right.
Yeah, half damage of 3d10 is more than 1.
Yeah, just a little bit more. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was pointless. Please tell me you all have a... And then, like, she looks over at the girl that was, like, looking disappointed. Maybe right here isn't the best plan. Let's leave.
Yeah.
What that ability is called and what it does is fun.
Paul take a step out and he, I imagine, looks around this ginormous castle and just has no idea where his friends are. And he has this tremendous sense of despair, I imagine, creep up.
Yeah.
And he just looks back and says, "All right, let's
Trust me, we'll be back. Well, at least you might be. I don't know if I'm going to be.
yeah, let's I believe we should head out then."
Rahadin actually just calls out from across the hallway. Says, "My master is finished for the evening. You are welcome to take the carriage back from whence you came. He expects that you will take care of your new friends, as we will take care of your old ones."
Is that what happened? A trade? As Zash starts to walk towards him.
He says, "Lord Strahd seems to believe." Zash, you hear the screaming where you stand. It's just,
Yeah.
it's hard to, you can't even hear him talking while you stand that close to him. It's just like chaos of screaming in your head.
So,
it is not doing damage to you, but it is disorienting, and you can't hear anything he's saying when you get that close.
Yeah.
When you get close to him.
When you get close
Yeah.
to Rahadin, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Zash has danger sense, so he's actually, as soon as he starts to hear the screaming again, jumps back and gets down on all fours like he's about to become a beast.
Oh, yeah. He says, Lord Strahd believes your entourage is better suited now than it was before.
Why are we here?
And Paul like just takes a step forward, even maybe like bracing himself against like the rising of the chaos in his brain from the screaming, and he says,
Why were we brought here? He was going to tell us, and then he didn't.
Because if I recall, like before Camille came, he was like, "You probably are wondering why you're here."
Yeah.
And then, I mean, is that an accurate recollection of what happened?
I suppose so. I mean, yes, that is an accurate. You are right in what you remember me saying. I am realizing that I've been a little unclear, and that's okay because I think once he's fine with being unclear, I think he dropped a lot of clues to y'all as to purposes you might serve to him.
Zash looks over at Paul and goes, "We're his play toys. We're his entertainment."
Rahadin kind of chuckles, and he says he finds you worthy playthings.
Yeah, I think that definitely causes Paul to just like bite down.
Does Terraman remember him at all?
I think, gosh, I forgot what we said in our conversation. I think you have to. Again, I know your memory is going to be kind of funny, but he is such a Rahadin. Yeah, he's got such a history, man.
Right. I've probably over the course of the stay in the dungeon probably remembered, right?
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, because he brought you here essentially, so yeah.
And it says, Terraman says, is that what he is? He seeks death. He's tired of this place.
I'll be more than happy to give it to him. She says kind of like more under her breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terraman will point to her if he hears that.
You point to her?
If he hears that, there's like a thumbs up right there coming at her.
She was trying to say like where hopefully that guy didn't hear her. Granted, he's got huge pointy ears,
he probably
but
didn't hear it. Yeah, he probably didn't hear it then.
And he says to you, you said, I'd be happy to bring it, to supply it to him or bring it to him.
Yeah, I'd be happy. Yeah, I would be happy.
Will reply. Sorry. With,
Sorry.
He hopes that you will. He hopes you will try, he says.
Does he smile while saying that? As if to like indicate like bring it on? Because you know how you say something like that is important.
Yeah, it's weird. He give me an insight check.
That's fair. That is kind of what I'm asking. Boom! Salad.
Nice.
Wow, boom salad. We're doing that 14 or that +7. He is certainly cocky that you guys won't stand a chance, but he is also he doesn't love this part of his job.
Yeah.
Like playing with the toys, like he's kind of annoyed by it.
So
if you'll do me a favor and convey to Lord Strahd,
and I think Paul is just kind of, you know, with the game out in the open like this, the play things. I think he's kind of like, okay, and he looks at me. He's like, well, if you'll do my best to convey to Lord Strahd, just my thanks for his graciousness, and he smiles as he says it, in letting the Lady Irina lead the new town. That was quite gracious of him. And he just smiles a shit-eating grin as he says it.
That's lovely, just lovely. I will give him your message.
Thank you.
Before Zash even starts to stand up, as he's standing there, well, on all fours, getting ready to pounce, basically, I want him to roll something. Wisdom. perception on this character.
You want
Zash,
who to roll wisdom?
Zash basically wants to know on his primal side between the sense danger and the animalistic nature of him, if he thinks that this is a matchup that he can take right now.
You mean Rahadin?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Because he does not like the fact that anytime he gets near him, he hears screaming. It's driving like
it's awfully off-putting.
A primal.
Okay. I mean, I would allow an insight check, or if you want to roll wisdom, it's a wisdom-based check. Insight would help you like size him up. I guess perception I'd also allow whatever's a little higher.
All right. Perception then.
Is that a crit?
It was a natural 20.
Yeah.
You sense that on paper you'd want to be a level 10 party to face Rahad. I'll give that to you with your natural 20. He seems like a badass. He seems like a badass. Again, you hear the screams of thousands when you're near him. And Terramin and Camila might have some insight into exactly what you're hearing when you're close to him.
With
would I?
Nat 20.
I think you might, just knowing the lore around this guy. I mean, you know the history of the place, having spent time with the as we've discussed.
Okay.
With
spoilers, I'm like, you guys don't know any of this stuff. I'm like, talk with the new guys. I haven't told the old guys about this story yet.
With the nat 20, Zash wants to know if the damage that he would take if he tried to attack him right now would be psychic.
Huh. With the nat 20, you certainly know that he could do psychic damage to you. That's like, you know that immediately, but you also know he has this old, but sharp scimitar at his side that you have no doubt he knows his way around.
Okay.
It's been sharpened and sharpened and sharpened and sharpened and sharpened and sharpened. It's not ornamental.
As Zash starts to regain his stature as a bipedal humanoid, he grabs a hold of Paul's shoulder and he goes,
"This is not a fight even I would take."
As he stands up, he just whispers it in Paul's ear.
Terramin is gonna Oh, go ahead. Did you want to respond, Paul?
No, I was just laughing at a thought I had in my mind, but I didn't want to distract from the scene. Continue.
Okay, Terramin is gonna lean forward a little bit to maybe get those screams, because he thinks he hears one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he would
It
try to
resonates and your dissonates maybe. Yeah.
Right. There's one in particular that he wants to hear, and he's so pissed off at this guy. He hates him so much. But he leans forward just to hear the screams, right?
Oh my god.
And then when he comes back, he takes a breath, and says and you as well. You've taken so many lives and caused so much sorrow. I hope we meet again soon too.
In due time, he says.
And Terramin will start to leave.
Same with Camila. She's heading out the door.
All right. Cyrus is like,
the carriage is here for you still. He goes, welcome to come on the carriage. Thank you so much for coming by. I hope you come by again soon.
Zash is walking out the door. He's locking eyes, and he's never taking his eyes. He's actually starting to walk backwards and put his back against the wall as he walks out, keeping an eye on that. As that just, he knows something's up with that guy.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You definitely get that.
Zash will fight just about anyone, but he is
door open.
Not feeling going anywhere near that guy.
Yeah.
It's like that Team Fortress 2 meme with the heavy, and he's like, but that guy, there's something wrong with him. Talking about the pyro.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Zash again never takes his eye off of him.
Awesome. Sweet.
But Zash is definitely the last one to walk out of there.
Sweet. Sweet. It is dark now at this point. You guys have been told not to travel the woods at night. It's scary AF. Let me just find some music for us. The Lands of Barovia. Find some
But we were promised safe passage to and from.
Promised safe passage to and from.
So I want to point out Paul didn't eat any of the food.
Yeah, no, Camilla definitely didn't. She didn't touch
Zash
it.
chow down.
Zash went to town on it.
Yeah.
And I think at least Chen did. I'm not sure what Duvad would have done.
It's like the
He's
equivalent of
cynical.
a blood diamond, and he just refuses to take part in it.
That's fair.
What would you roll to keep like your mental composure?
A wisdom save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that on here?
The saves,
Wisdom would be under saving throws, which is right underneath
because there's ability
inspiration.
checks and then there's saving throws, and depending on your proficiencies, it might be different. There's a little
But if
box
you
that
look-
says saving throws.
Look straight down from inspiration.
Top left corner.
Your mom is an inspiration.
I say your mom works. It works the top left corner.
Mine was trying to be wholesome.
Yeah.
Passive wisdom.
Your mom was trying to be wholesome. Yeah, that's interesting. I like the. Yeah, I like what I'm not gonna remember his name now. What Terramin is doing, like intentionally just pushing right into
Being a
that.
douche.
Like the Terramin is just reaching in just a little bit, just to listen intentionally to the screams that cause pain.
Oh, that. Yeah.
It's a GM whisper for some reason.
Oh, you know what? It's probably use the macro, or do I not put the macro up? You know what?
No,
I think I have it set so that new character sheets automatically, because there's a lot of NPCs, and I hate when they automatically come up. Yeah, they automatically whisper. We can change that. Though.
Is that good enough?
I need to double check. What did I get rid of his Rahadin's character sheet already? Oh no, it should be. I whispered it to you. You know what? Yeah, you save, so you take. Why don't I whisper my rolls are all public, and your rolls are not. Okay, so you take half. You take 6 points of psychic damage, but I think it feels like a lot more because it's like what it means to you, right?
Right. Yeah. So he holds his head like
even
when he
even
gets
rolling
out
it
of there.
rolling at disadvantage, you still pass. So you are strong. You're willful. After all that you've been through, so.
Yeah. And when he walks out there or near the carriage, I think, or just walks out the door, I guess, he's like holding his head like it took something out of him. Just hearing the scream. Even if he didn't hear that specific one, you know what I mean?
Just
Maybe
what
he
it
thinks he
represents. Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
represents to you. Yeah, for sure. I took away 6 hit points from you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, yeah, and the carriage awaits. I guess everyone get into the carriage. Or do you want to walk back?
I'm very hesitant to get into anything given to us by Strahd,
Fair.
personally. But I also know how dangerous these forests can be.
He did, offer safe passage, right?
I think Paul looks at everyone and he just says,
It is against my better judgment, but he has his own, and he kind of looks with disgust, honor, and I believe that we can trust that we will at least make it home safely.
Zash looks beaten and wore out right now. He's like, I don't even think that I could survive a venture through these woods at night right now.
It probably doesn't help that you smashed your face up against a wall several times.
That normally
Repeatedly.
doesn't help.
Yes, I agree.
Can I lay on hands or something? Or
If you want to expend it, you may.
What?
It's.
What? I'm sorry. Lay on hands from this undead abomination? Paul is like, he doesn't even know what's going on anymore.
No, you may. You get a certain. In this game, lay on hands is so overpowered. You basically get a pool of hit points you can just give away with a touch. You can decide how many you want to give away.
oh well,
That's legit.
equal
it's
to your
so
level times
overpowered.
5.
Yeah.
As
So if
an
you look at your
action.
character sheet, you have lay on hands. There's a little box in the right column. It's lay on hands 25. You can just down arrow however many you're going to spend, and you'll have the rest left still. Or you could just give them all your hit points of lay on hands if you want. The ridiculous thing about lay on hands is that I believe it is an action. Yeah, it does cost you an action. So at least there's that. But it's also like you can stabilize someone with it. Like you could just keep one hit point and bring someone back to life with lay on hands. It's so stupid.
Wow.
With one little hit point, boop, brought back to life, or brought back from dying condition. Death saving throws.
Paul opens up the carriage door
And is like, I think it would be best for us to. We're not going to make steps forward here.
That much I can agree with. And I'll step up into the carriage. And as soon as I sit down, I'm going to pull out my book again and start ritual casting my pet back.
Nice. Yeah, it takes like 10 or something. That takes a while to get
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes.
your
But
little pet back.
I miss my little Umbra.
Can Paul do detect magic to figure out what the hell she's doing? Like, just figure out what it is.
I mean, there's a spell for that. But I would just.
It is kind of...
What does it look like while you're doing it? I mean, are you?
Yeah.
So, when she's... I mean, obviously she has the book. This flesh-covered book sitting in her lap. She doesn't really touch the cover itself because, again, it's made out of nasty flesh. But she does keep it carefully wrapped. And when she's ritually casting it, she's... Because if I remember correctly, when you cast ritual, you don't actually need any components.
Right. Maybe. Yeah.
She's got her
It doesn't
hand...
cost you a slot, at least.
No, actually, if you cast a spell at a ritual, I don't think it costs a spot.
Right.
A slot.
It doesn't cost you a slot. Yeah. That's what I mean,
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah.
So she hovers her hand maybe just a couple inches from the pages itself, and it almost looks like black is bleeding from her hand into the book and reforming those letters that you saw initially, which then do the same thing that you saw at the dinner table, but at a much slower rate, as it's now resummoning the owl. My little
I'd also like-
Umbra. I'm so sorry. I
I'd
did
also
that
like
to
to
you.
remind Prankster, well, that he might have seen something somewhat like it.
That's true. Because Jester does the same thing to get his little bird.
Yeah, but hers is all like black and evil looking. His is all like, I'm a vampire snake nature loving dude. So
Yeah. Okay, so the whole party gets like this kind of it's this awkward new group of friends riding this carriage that's drawn by what seem to be living horses. Just regular ass horses who are magically able to do these things.
Isn't this nice?
Yes, so pleasant.
While we are getting into the carriage, Zash like walks up to the driver's seat and like waves his hand over the driver's seat.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing there, man. There is this place to sit if you wanted to sit on the outside.
I think Zash would sit on the outside.
Yeah. Go for it, sir. Zash is in the driver's seat. Everyone else inside the carriage?
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
So, I'm new to these lands. I've been here about a week. It seems like the two of you been here longer.
Yes, and I am very sorry to hear that you have been here. This is actually very unfortunate for you.
What is your knowledge of other adventurers like myself coming to these lands?
Well, they come in, they don't go out.
Okay, that's fantastic. Great.
Also, the perfect answer.
Yes. And how about you,
Harriman.
Terriman? Thank you.
He says, I have been here too long to remember, actually.
Yeah, or they end up like this guy, and she's like pointing towards Terriman.
Indeed. I even have trouble remembering my own name.
You're not the only one. All right, now your rolls will at least be visible. So when Terriman rolls, you will see the name Terriman. That's helpful.
There are shattered images of lives that I have lost. I have been here for some time.
Your friend is quite eccentric. He's fascinating, and honestly.
You're talking about my friend,
yes,
Zash.
Yes, the snake man.
Yes. No, he's pretty eager. Okay, does anyone else hear the growling?
Oh, that's normal. That's normal. You hear that a lot around here.
Yes. Okay. All right.
All of a sudden, Zash's head like pops up upside down from the window.
Yes, there's some sort of beast out here.
Oh.
Oh, well, that's not a good thing.
Safe passage.
Yeah. Zash sees some like two wolves like following behind the like staying in the woods following the wagon.
You are still wounded, my friend. Let me touch your head. Can I? So if I spend 2 of those points, it's times 5, and it gives him 10 HP back. Is that how that works?
I'm sorry. Say again.
If I spend 2 of those points, does it give him times 5?
So those no. If you spend 2 points, he gets 2 hit points. So you have 25 hit. You have 25 hit points to dole out, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Per long rest.
Sorry, I'm a 5e noob.
No, you're doing great.
Are the wolves stalking us or are they protecting us? Because it's really disconcerting.
Give me a second, and Zash pops back up, and I'll actually go ahead and
Zash's head popping up and down.
Zash will go ahead and just sit there and start to speak a ritual, which will allow him to ask the wolves if they're guardians or if they're after anything else. So I'll basically use my speak with animals.
Thank you. Great if they could quiet the fuck down.
Now that is useful. Normally, wolves are a lot quieter before they stalk their prey.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So does it take you? You said you're casting it as a ritual. Isn't that like a 20-minute thing, or what are you doing?
I'm just using speak with animals.
Okay. So you're casting the spell. You're using the spell, speak with animals.
Yeah.
All right. I just want you to mark it in your use up spells if that's what.
Yeah. I already did.
So I also would like to see the description, so I don't have to look it up. If you don't mind, just throw it in the chat for me.
He just thinks you're cheating.
Forget. No, I need to see it because I don't want to manually look it up.
Can't believe you just accused Jester of cheating.
I'm like, Jester's so great, you guys. I can't trust him.
There is no trust in Barovia.
Beasts can give you information about. Okay, they can tell you things if you. Okay, so you cast this, and what do you say to them? Are you just listening to them, or is that?
Yeah, at first I listen to them, and depending upon what they say between the two of them, because they are being very vocal.
They are talking a lot to each other. They're saying, "Not yet, not yet. We have to wait until they get out."
Oh, that son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Zash pops down. He's like, they're going to attack us when the carriage stops.
Yeah, that tracks. That
And
tracks.
you see more and more. You see more coming in through the woods. It's not just a couple now.
So with that knowledge, Zash is. Let's see if I got it. I don't know if I used it.
I don't know if that's enough. I gave you 5 HP, Jester.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
How much did you lose?
I am going to go ahead and use my potion of greater healing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Which,
I just
which
use hands.
well, I don't want to take all of his lay on hands, which I believe
but-
is.
Getting close to the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a hell of a day, though.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've got heals too. I'm just saying, don't use your consumables when you got recharging casters.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is going to happen as we get out of the carriage. We're not going to have enough time to rest or do anything. You and me both have no spell slots.
How?
I have not adjusted my things at all, and
Yeah.
I have all of my spell slots
Yeah, I
except
think
for one level 1.
I actually scrolled back to look at the combat log, and I was like, no, you didn't cast any spells. You cast a lot of cantrips, and actually Jester used cantrips a lot too. So
Yeah.
Dude, I've only got 2 rages and 2 wild shapes left.
I just
It's Chester, I got you, baby.
Does
started the day
anybody
fresh.
does anybody happen to have a small bit of alcohol?
I let me look here. No.
It's also slim pickings since there's a wine shortage. You guys should have a belly full of little whiskey, Scotch whiskey, or something like that in your tummy too.
True.
Little
We do
dark
have-
liquor.
We can get you some wine when we get back. Is that enough? Or did you like rubbing alcohol?
Anything distilled or alcoholic?
I think I only have water.
Okay.
Those wolves.
They're so mad. Well, the sound effect that I found, I thought maybe it'd just be the background. Like, no, these are like combat wolf sounds, which is fine.
Yeah.
They're really mad out there, like fighting with each other.
Yeah, that little Timmy was delicious from earlier. We gotta get more little Timmy.
And they're like biting at each other, like, no, I get to go first. You gotta wait.
Yeah.
and yeah, Jester. I'm sorry, Zash can overhear the wolves just talking about it. And yeah,
That is
they're definitely working together. They got that pack tactics,
something I forgot to ask you about. Is how do you roll component? Like, I mean, how do you roll components? Is what I'm going at.
What do you mean? You mean like for crafting? What do you mean?
Like
Or you mean spell components?
Yeah, spell components.
I usually hand wave it unless it's like a resurrection or something that costs a lot of money or something really rare. Diamonds or stuff like that. Usually hand wave it. Other than that, I just assume cashers have that stuff with them, even though this world is super like scarcity. But
Yeah. Well, then she probably would have something like that on her, like because one of her spells requires a little bit of alcohol.
yeah, I think cashers know what they need to do their thing. They make sure they always have some with them. So feel free to role play it, but I'm not gonna like make you keep track.
Okay, I just wasn't sure though. I never actually asked about that.
And it's always great flavor for saying I cast fireball. Say what you're doing with the stuff.
About how long until you think we're going to be dropped off by this carriage?
Oh, let's see. You guys would know that this ride will be. It'll be there in about 20 minutes.
Be where in about 20? Oh, home.
Yes. The carriage ride is taking you all the way home. You've already passed the place where you first saw the carriage, where it was kind of like on the intersection. It's going all the way back to the city.
So these wolves are going to follow us into the city? I just want to know because I need to prepare myself for something. But if we're not going to be attacked when we stop,
Zash, will you do me a small favor? Can your raven communicate with people or no? Zash, you seem to be very quiet right now. Is it because you hate me? What did I do now that you is?
He's still up on the roof. The wind is probably get like the sound of the crawling.
He knocks the roof like, Zash, are you fucking there?
Zash, all of a sudden his head pops back down. What?
I was listening to these wolves.
I would like for you to summon Bertram and send him back to the town where we at is Kresk, right?
You still haven't been to Kresk. You're in Vallaki.
Vallaki, thank you.
Yeah.
Why don't you? Is it possible for you to send your raven to Vallaki ahead of us to get those wolf hunters ready? Certainly, they'd appreciate a few new hides.
So, interesting consideration. What's your name? Minnie's character.
Camille.
Camila would know. Camila would know that the Vistani are not welcome in this little town. At least they haven't been for a long, long time.
You're not okay.
Oh, that's true.
Also, I mean, Terramin's like a zombie, so he would also be like maybe a little weird about going into a settlement.
Well,
but
yes.
poor Rogue walked away again. But in talking with him about his character concept, I think he planned to have some kind of hood to disguise himself for people. So he probably has something like that.
So is there like a bag somewhere in the carriage?
Bag over his head.
A brown bag, with a little smiley face on it. It's terrible.
You don't need to worry about me. And like my owl gets sucked back into the book. I shut it, bound it up, and then I'll place my hand gently on my chest, and you watch as black shadows envelop my entire body. Momentarily, I look like just a living shadow, and then as they recede, I look like a completely different person as I cast Disguise Self on myself. And my hair is now brown. My skin is a lighter complexion, but I look ragged, and my clothes look all torn and tattered.
That's a lot of fun.
No joke. That is fun.
Ash is just tilting his head upside down on the carriage right now.
Awesome.
He pops back up and he starts to cast his Find Familiar ritually.
So going to.
I'm out of the spell slot.
Excellent, Camille. That'll be good. Camilla or Camille? Camilla, right?
Camila.
Camilla. Excellent, Camilla. That is wise. Actually, I don't know. I guess he wouldn't know that the Vistani. No, that's right. I do recall figuring out that there's like a small encampment to the south because they weren't welcome in Vallaki. So that is something we're aware of. And so as we're in the carriage, I look at Camilla and I say, Strahd looked at you about a comment about not being able to leave.
Yes. What of it? She looks away from you, like not wanting to answer.
Paul will not press the issue and just kind of like nods.
Zash, on the other hand, upside down.
What binds you here?
Fuck, Zash, God.
She looks at you.
And Zash is just tilting his head side to side.
Look, as fascinating as you are, you'll have to forgive me. We have literally just met.
This is true.
Maybe give us a little bit, and then I might feel a little comfortable sharing more about myself.
He just told you about Bertram. And he pops back up and he starts casting for Bertram again.
I mean, you know about Umbra, so...
Can I ship Bertram and Umbra?
You ship them?
I'm starting that. I'm shipping them. I want a deep romance between Bertram and Umbra.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah, and I want
to put them in a FedEx box.
No, and I want you to role play both sides of that.
The funny thing about that is, if you listen to my Find Familiar, it is an entity of light.
And mine is an entity of darkness.
Fuck yes! Ship it!
It's so weird, man.
You haven't heard that new term?
I
learned that.
With it.
I learned that from my wife, who learned it from her girlfriend. And honestly,
Yeah.
that is the first time I've ever used it in a conversation.
Cool.
It's funny.
I'm embarrassed to say that I have used it a lot in that same meaning.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I have
to
no
distract
clue. I'm
us.
still lost.
We've got wolves tailing us. We're on our way to Valaki. And Paul just kind of is like looking at the entirety of the situation, and he's like,
All right, well, if it happens, it happens. We might have some allies on our side.
Zash is actually going to tie a note to Bertram's leg with a single EP on the end of it, like on it. And it's a note to the wolf hunters that we'll soon have an encounter for them to possibly make some more pelts from wolves that are following us.
and I mentioned
And he sends it off.
to Terrimin, I
I'm gonna
want
go
you
ahead
to
and
know
select that.
I am. We all accept you, and you are. Well, you are. Let's put it at that. We're going to Valaki, where they're going to see you. People.
Ah, yes.
And while I'm grateful you're here, not everyone may be as...
Oh, I've seen much worse than him, so he doesn't really bother me.
I'm glad.
My face could look unpleasant to some people.
No, you're fine.
and as he says that, he grimaces. You're beautiful.
You're fine.
Yeah,
You're great. Ugh.
Perhaps I should get a mask or a hood.
Or a bag. Bag would do nicely too. Something to cover up.
Don't forget about bag. That's
He doesn't even, like, the joke goes over his head. He's just like, that would work.
I just feel bad. Paul wouldn't say that. That's me.
It's so funny though.
Bag might work.
No, I don't want to. That's very disrespectful of me. I'm sorry.
We could get you.
Zash hands down his backpack.
Cut some holes in the eyes.
Get like a cool gator bandana. We'll work on it. But do you have anything in the interim, at least, that could help?
Just my hood.
Just-
Oh, I think we talked about getting a mask or something like that. I don't know if I actually have one yet, though. Maybe that'll be something he's gonna get. But he could pull like his hood up or whatever.
I do have a question, if you'll enlighten me. Obviously, from the little that I've gathered, unless you are very good at deceiving me, you all do not look like you are friends with the devil. Am I to assume that you have been collecting some things to take him down?
Zash pops his head down again. We have a list of things we need, but we have yet to get any of the things
A shopping
we need.
list.
That's a good point.
And he hands the reading down to her that we got from the Vistani woman.
She'll take it and have a look at it. And while she's looking over it, if you guys want to continue a conversation so I can refresh my memory.
That's fair.
That's great.
Yeah, we've mostly been doing a lot of Valaki's got a lot going on, and so we've done our best to kind of stabilize that as a for lack of a better way of putting it, a home. We need a place to eat, to rest, to repair, and they've been assaulted from the outside and from within, and there's been sabotage and all manner of back-channel political dealings and an awful burgermeister. So there's been much. We're hoping that Valaki might, at the very least, now be stable.
Nothing.
We might.
Nothing.
So
is
Zash's
stable.
head pops up and goes to the other side, and
Oh,
he's now
it's-
talking to the zombie guy, and he's like,
Chairman.
So, what was your rank?
I don't know if we ever discussed that.
We didn't. If we had, I wouldn't. Military is over my head.
Yeah, maybe he was just as. Actually, this might be a better answer. Well, once I think I was a sergeant, and then there was another time I came back and I was a captain, and then I was a corporal, and a page another time, and maybe I was a little girl one time as well.
I'm sorry, you're a little girl?
Sometimes I just find the bodies that are close.
Okay. Like, you know what? Everyone goes through a phase. Who am I to judge?
Zash's head pops up for a second, comes back around to the side that Paul's sitting on. I don't think. What is the deity's
Kalimvor?
name? Elmvor is going to be very happy. And he pops up and goes back to the other side.
Oh, okay.
Kalimvor. Do you say that so that he Termin can
oh,
hear as well?
No, only Paul would hear. And then Zash goes to the other side and he goes,
I was a lieutenant in the Burning Dawn.
Now, the way the rank structure of mercenary units go, which I would assume that somebody of your character's background would know, is by rank is the number of enemies killed.
Oh wow.
Nice. I probably would have heard of them burning down, yeah. If it's from this world anyway. I've been
No,
stuck here for a long time.
it's not this world. It's from.
Outside.
Yep.
You say that is a good rank.
Not a good deed. And he pops up.
That's why I prefer the woods. And I wish these wolves would shut up.
You know what? It's funny because they have shut up. As 10 minutes passed, you don't hear them talking anymore. You just hear them growling. But as any other role play, I'm just gonna give you guys a chance.
I imagine that like Paul is just trying to get to know Terramin and Camilla and just asking them questions and just trying to get to know them.
So
Zash randomly interrupts.
with the Terraraka cards, did you hand me cards or did you hand me like when you said here's the reading, like
Probably notes.
Notes.
Oh, okay. So she kind of skims over your note involving this one here. The Myrmidian. I know of a werewolf then, but unfortunately I don't recall where.
It's to the north of the town that we actually have a house in.
Oh, you all decided to settle here. Well, I guess there's a point to making yourself comfortable if you're going to be here for the rest of eternity.
Okay, let's not get too hasty. Hopefully,
We killed the vampires that resided in it and took ownership.
Okay, well, if we're killing vampires, then we might want to focus on one in particular, especially if you hope to get your friends back and leave.
I agree, and I think that's the hope. It's just that the town of Alaki needed so much help, and we whether it was the wine shortage or whether it was the orphanage or whether it was Irina being kidnapped or the Burgermeister and his goddamn son or whether it is the other noblewoman who was treacherous. There's been
Don't forget about the preacher losing the finger.
Yes, there's been there's been much. Every time we've tried to step out of Valaki, it seems like we've been pulled back in with
Haste.
Yes, and we haven't been to many places, honestly. We've been to Valaki and we've been to Barovia, and Barovia was shit, and Valaki at least has people.
We went to the wonderful vineyards and the druid deal.
Yes, my point ultimately is we would hate for the town to fall because it seems like there's not many
Bastions.
there's not many bastions of civilization left. We've heard of a town called Kresk, but I'm uncertain about what might be there, and honestly, I don't fear the best.
Well, I do have to say that as much as some of these people are a royal pain in my ass, they don't deserve this life. So the fact that you have actually taken the time, despite being strangers to these lands, to actually try to help them, I can appreciate. When it comes to the devil, and you watch as her eyes are slowly beginning to turn purple. I look forward to killing him. And then her eyes fade back to Cyan.
Instead of Zash popping down this time, the skull of the vampire pops down, and he mimics her laugh.
Making fun of her?
No, he's laughing along with her using this skull.
Amazing. Like a puppet?
Yeah.
That's messed up and amazing at the same time.
All right. Yeah, you guys are pulling up to Valaki. You see the gates of Valaki. I didn't get you guys back to the map to see where you are. It doesn't really matter. But you're getting really close to the gates of Valaki. This is... Yeah, the route y'all didn't take when you first came this way, right? Y'all took the lake route last time.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's how
but
we got
y'all taking
in.
the main road. Get real close. You can see the gate. And remember, this town, I don't want to pull up the art, but it has like wooden fencing around it. But there's a word for that.
Palisades?
Palisades?
Yeah, they got those.
Palisade 5!
Good job, nerds. They were well guarded before, but you know the town has lost like at least half the guards. As you approach the door, the gates are closed. You can see from a distance, but the wagon also stops about 75 feet away from the gate, and you realize you're surrounded by wolves.
You stop it right there, fam.
Good Cliffy.
A good little Cliffy. I could show you. I might make a better pick a better map for you guys. But I should get the gate and everything in this. Oops, I actually have Strahd in this too. Ignore Strahd; he's not there. Because I used this artwork whenever Strahd was riding in the wagon, but he's not.
Ignore the man behind the mirror.
And Strahd is there too.
He's always there.
There's this shitload of wolves, dire wolves, little wolves, and they're between you and the gate and surrounding you. Yay!
Dude, that's true, isn't it? Though, can't he at will see through any of the creatures in the realm or something?
I mean, you don't. There might be rumors of that, at least, that he has that power. No one really knows what all he can do. There's rumors he can do crazy shit that you're sure he can't do. Or can he? But he does seem to have
that's
eyes.
one of them.
He does seem to have eyes, whether or not he's looking through the eyes, or they all just kind of have a way to inform him.
Yeah.
But there are, people know that he has eyes and little spies out in the world, human and not human.
I want to suggest. He said that he would. Obviously we can go out there in throw down, but we're not out of the carriage. We could just stay in the carriage.
That's
Just
funny.
a possibility.
What, you want to leave in here? It'll probably go back eventually.
But we need experience points too.
I love I love this conversation happening as the gate just opens. You see the wolves start to slowly come
Oh,
toward
no.
you.
All right.
And that's where we'll end it tonight.
Oh, man.
Thanks
That was
very
great.
much for running, man.
Bees, I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
That
you
was
guys.
a lot of fun.
Y'all are awesome. You're all
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
I'm
Thank
looking
Thank you
forward to more.
thank you, Rogue and Minnie for jumping in with all that
Oh, yeah.
lore to try to get behind. Y'all are awesome too.
Oh, yeah, thank you. And thank
For
you,
sure.
Minnie, for all the cool artwork.
Oh yeah, this
Oh.
artwork is awesome.
So cool.
So good. So good.
I'm glad you guys like it. Thank you again so much for hosting this first game. I can't wait for the next one, which I'm assuming is in 2 weeks, right? It's
That's the
bi-weekly?
plan. That's the plan. That's the
Okay.
plan.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got to jump off
Everyone-
here. Thank you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Later.
night.
But
Good
y'all
night.
have a good one.